What's up, family? All right, give y'all enough time to come on in here. We are definitely live, and I want to say grateful that we are here. We ask that you all do share this particular live, but a lot of people were coming at me about Tasha K, her daughter. We had multiple people that were upset at us, and they said, why? Well, I've am all based on storylines, right? I find a great story, we talk about it, and this is what we do. But let's talk about where I learned some of these tactics. And I joined YouTube many moons ago, and I joined a sector called the beef sector. Okay, I joined this particular sector. Now, when you're joining the quote unquote beef sector, it was literally that beef, like it was roast and gag. And I'm not talking about the new stages of the beef sector. I'm talking about the stages when I came in and was myself and F Bab and VS and Jay Wilson and Tracy with the wig and the chopping cabinet. I'm talking about those Sean Bradley, what was the other guy? The nurse that, ZT, Zero Tolerance. I'm talking about that era. And so during that era, people say, oh, children off limits. Well, people in the beef sector didn't know children was off limits or deceased folks was off limits. I remember someone stalked VS children, and they posted pictures of her children. They literally stood outside the school, took pictures, and posted it on YouTube. That was the era of it, of the B sector. I would never forget they did that. And so VS was very paranoid. She was like, they taking pictures of my family and stuff like that. And they were so, she was so paranoid. And I said, wow, like, this is crazy. Like, what kind of sector is this? And so it was a spirit of, okay, doxing. And then the doxing was out of control. And so, like, when VS and Tracy, when they were beefing, right, it was a bad beef because Tracy couldn't stand VS and VS couldn't stand Tracy. So somebody sent VS pictures of Tracy's deceased mother in the casket and posted it on the community wall. I couldn't believe it. It shocked me. And she kept posting it on her community wall, kept taunting Tracy and posting the picture. Did entire funerals for the mother and did virtual funerals. So that was the sector. So I knew when I came to this celebrity gossip sector, I couldn't be that ruthless, but it was very ruthless in that moment. And this was before all the creators over there started getting them thumbnails. They really showed their face. And so they posted it on there. Then it was so ruthless, and Tracy would cry, she would break down, she would be in tears, and they would do whole funerals of her mother, deceased mother, and replay it on YouTube. Let's not even forget that happened on YouTube. And when people understand that what happened, like that was what's going on. So I have to deprogram from those tactics, but every once in a while I do pull some of those tactics and do it. You always try to find your opponent weak spot. And when you try to find your opponent weak spot, you use it to your advantage, and children are included because most of the time children are the weak spot. So that was like a strategy that was in the beef sector that we use that. And people talk about people, children. I mean, F Bab had her daughter and she put her daughter on screen. And I cannot tell you how many phone calls Child Protective Services was called to her house, and Child Protective Services was called to VS home, and F Bab was crying because she didn't have lunch for her daughter. They didn't feed her no lunch because she didn't bring the baby no lunch money, and they used that over and over and over. If the baby had a cold, we would make a video about that, about she's being mistreated at home. And so people would even weaponize Child Protective Services and the FBI. So that all came from the beef sector. That came from the beef sector. And let's be clear, they did, and we have some witnesses that seen this stuff happening in real time. Before there was bingo, there was the beef sector. The beef sector laid the blueprint for bingo. And they did it, but no matter what we did to each other, it was a dysfunctional family. So I have to really get into the situation with me and VS. Now, VS have been trying to get in contact with me, coming in my chat or whatever the case may be. We trying to connect or whatever. I think we do need to have a conversation because I'm being blamed for something I didn't do. I think this woman is still believing in her headspace that I literally set her up to get arrested. And I want to say this, VS, I didn't do that. I did not set you up to get arrested. I did not do it. When that day happened, when you showed up to that IHOP, I was at work. I didn't know Shireen was going to go there. And if she would have called me, I would have told her, don't. She didn't tell me. She was a moderator. So I didn't tell that woman to do that. Now, after the aftermath, once I was walking from my job to my house in Dallas at the time, I was staying in Dallas at the time, I immediately, she get on the phone with me, Shireen get on the phone with me, I see the video, and I'm walking to my house, and Shireen was crying. She was crying. It was like she was hurt. She said to me that she was hurt. And her family want her to press charges. And she's like, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, tell the detectives what happened. I'm not there. And so she get in the ambulance. She get the detective. They questioning her. And I get on the phone or whatever. And I said, she's what's going on? And I said, it's a YouTube thing, right? It is a YouTube situation. Now, I left it alone. I'm living my daily life, but because VS had so many enemies, they used that moment to apply pressure to the prosecutor in that town in Virginia somewhere. But I got blamed that Wiley sent this old woman to IHOP thousands of miles away, and I want to make sure to clear that up. I did not do that. Now, did I tell her to press charges? Yes. I told her that. I said, if someone sat on you and harmed you and hit you in your head or whatever, that is an assault. So yes, press charges. That's it. Now, The failure in this with VS, though, is that this woman did so good in the beef sector. She did some good. She would donate money to people in nursing homes. She would raise money for families. She raised money for Lady Nika. She raised money for this entity, raised money for this person, paid this person bill, helped me get a car, helped me get resources in my apartment. She really knew how to raise money. She was a great fundraiser. But when she was in need, this is why you got to be careful allowing the public to gaslight you. They abandoned her. The TSCC, that entire group, abandoned their leader. There was no type of leadership structure. She was the leader. She was the end-all be-all. And so when she got handcuffs put on her, nobody else was able to take the reins to raise funding to get her a lawyer. She was at the mercy of a public defender, and she got screwed. She's a poor black woman in a dominant Republican town, and they pulled the full weight of the law against her because other bloggers, F Bab, Tracy, Jay Wilson, and people all over these YouTube streets start calling the police station, calling the prosecutor, writing letters, showing up to the court, showing up to all these places. They kept doing it over and over again. They kept doing this over and over again. And they applied the pressure. And she was charged, and they said it was a kidnapping charge. She had probation. And the sad part of the deal, they said you couldn't be on the internet. You couldn't be on the internet. Now, let's make it crystal clear about the car thing. She helped telling the people to donate to the GoFundMe. And my audience donated as well as her audience and my audience donated. But let's be clear. We paid the car off. She did it. No one asked her. She just did it. But still to this day, I'm not going to be loyal to you when you break the law. You assaulted this lady and you gave your enemies the power to get you arrested. Because let's be clear. When VS and F Bab was going through their battle, F Bab tried to get her arrested with the order of protection. So at that time, I had a website out, and I would post on the website, and she would go to the judges saying that BS is working through Wiley and get an order of protection. She tried to get her arrested. She tried to get her arrested. So because VS was quote unquote stalking her, and F Bab at that time went to Chicago or went to a court somewhere in Illinois and got a temporary restraining order, right? And it was so bad that they gave the restraining order for 2 years. I think 2 years she couldn't talk about F Bab, she couldn't be around F Bab or whatever. And so 2 years she couldn't do it. But did that stop her from doing what she did? No, it didn't stop her. But what I did was I catered toward that beef. I said, hey, let me put on my website and say this stuff about her. And VS said, don't do it because she's blaming me that I'm doing this and you're doing it, right? And then you had what was it? The guy that Duchess Kelly Love, we did a whole arc of him. He begged me, crying, and said, don't make this post about me and my white husband. And I made a post about him. But at the end of the day, I think VS, they really wanted her because she had real enemies. Like this was on the height of her saying that Sean Bradley was a whole pedo. She put these allegations out, right? She did it. She ran with that. She literally tried to say that he was violating his adopted boys, the children, to the point Sean stopped being a foster. He stopped bringing in children to his home because everybody kept reporting them. And he said, F this, I'm not going to keep doing this. He was not charged. He was not convicted of any of these crimes. But in the YouTube streets, VS was so, I would say, what she would say if you didn't know better, she can manipulate you to believe that and say, oh, this really happened. And she did that, right? she viciously put that out there about Sean Bradley. And then she would put a panel together. And mind you, I was a part of the show because she said, well, I'm going to give $500 for a person to do a dance, a John Gacy dance, right? So I put on a wig. I started doing a John Gacy dance or whatever the case may be, not knowing who John Gacy was at the particular time. I didn't do my research. So by the time of that, I felt bad. I really felt bad. But we were all in the beef sector because for me, I said, this is all entertaining. But as I look at it, it was foolish. It wasn't right. I apologize to Sean Bradley. I was wrong because it was wrong. And then I had allegations put out on me. And then it was just like crazy. But VS, she stood up with the she defended me through those allegations. She called my uncle. She recorded. We still have that taping today when they tried to put some allegations out on us with lies. And it was VS. She was a great ally at that particular time. And I told her, I said, VS, I need you to call my uncle to clear this up and warn him because it was a sick, twisted woman, greasy woman, F Bab. She was going to my family church to say that I do Marquita the cross-eyed diva and all of this to cause chaos. So VS called my uncle and gave him her government name. And to save her identity, my Paul, he edited her vocals out and it was just my uncle. But we have the unedited tape of my uncle and VS talking. It was about a 5-10 minute conversation. And she cleared up those allegations. But that was the beef sector. That was the direct beef sector. So I went through it. And VS helped clear that up for us. But despite all that, she still committed a crime. She posted it on video. She did not let that lady get up. I mean, it was all line. Like VS IHOP, like it went viral. And so once she went to jail and her artistic son and daughter had to get somebody from TSCC until her mother can get there to watch her children, it was sad. It was hurtful. And I said, okay, guys, let's just stop. This is just too much. We don't want her to go to jail because she's spending up. This is just too much. And then when the word came out that she couldn't be online, that hurt her career because VS was making a lot of money. I mean, she was dominating the sector. I mean, she had thousands of people tuning in. Like she had a cult type of following that loved her. Some of my core supporters loved her. Hell, she stole some of our core supporters and turned them against me. That was how persuasive she was. And then she went away. And it was a power structure in the beef sector. And then that's why I knew I was going to leave. And then I get a phone call from Sean, from some producers to do a reality show. And I said, hey, I'm going to do this, right? At first, I wasn't the first pick. But I said, I'm going to do this. I didn't know. I kind of knew who was going to be a part of it. I was going to do it. And that's how I met all of these creators that I was talking about. I met them in this mansion, right? We all met. Sean, myself, F Bab. I can't remember everybody. QB went at the first taping. So I was there. Now, mind you, I show up later. They already taping, and I show up. And when I show up, I can't even get into details of that because whenever it come out, but that was like my first time seeing it. But it was a light bulb that lit in me because when I went to that mansion, when I saw this, right, and we were able to show on YouTube, and we all showed on YouTube, we taking pictures. I wasn't stupid enough to get up on there and say this is a kumbaya moment because it wasn't. I still don't F with you. So when my camera was on, I kept that same energy. You greasy, you fishy. I kept the same energy. So I didn't start this whole fishy stuff in this sector. I've been talking about that in the B sector. So there's nothing new. So I kept the same energy. The rest of them, oh, we kumbaya. They got dragged. I kept the same energy because imagery means a lot. Like, it's a beef sector, so it's not profitable for us to come together and kumbaya and mess up the sector. I got to keep that same energy. And so once Sean Bradley and the producers over there, once they finally was able to release some footage, a piece of it, you seen Wiley with cameras. But I never told nobody about it. And y'all still wouldn't know about it if Sean and others didn't say, y'all go on live. I would have kept them a secret. I kept my mouth shut. They didn't know. I kept it. They didn't know I was going to Florida. I kept it shut until we were allowed to go on YouTube. Now, when we was in Atlanta, we went to Atlanta. I mean, it was great. I felt like a superstar. Like, oh, this is what I meant to do. Like, I love that. Come together. We got cameras, and it was great. It was a good experience for me. And I learned something about business. Like, you don't have to tell people everything. And I didn't. I didn't tell a soul. No one knew nothing. And mind you, people think I share everything. I didn't. I don't. I know what to share and what not to share. So I didn't tell a soul. I didn't tell Almond Brown 09, Blue Skies, Dover Queen. I did not tell B Skies, Blue Skies, Mouth Open. I'm talking about my day one people that Nurse Nicole. I didn't tell them a soul. I could be on the, I didn't say nothing. So it kind of surprised everybody that I was there. It surprised people. And so, but then you knew like who was business minded, who was stupid. And most of them, they were just dumb. Timothy Bland, stupid. Jay Wilson, dumb. Fabe, stupid. And QB, dumb. And I told QB, we was in Chicago. I said, you're following a sinking ship. I think you need to don't follow her because this is good for our career. Well, what if it don't? I said, you don't know. I said this, and I'm going to say this. Do you know who's producing this? Okay. I said, you're going to get screwed. And I still want to have power in communication with the power players. When I went into that space, I'm going to deliver. And then and I'm going to talk to the producers, to the cameraman, to the people. I want you to remember who I am. Because if this don't ever see the light of day, y'all still got connections in the industry. So I still want to have this relationship. If this may never show up, I still want to be cool with y'all. Because whatever place you may be, we looking for another cast member. Well, I know Wiley. He's a great guy, great worker. I'm going to call him up. You know what I mean? So that's why I say you can't poop on everybody. And I learned that just by real life experiences that relationships is key. I don't care how talented you are, but you got to be a good person to work with folks. And so when we was there and Uncle Tim and all these people never been on planes. I mean, he was a cold heart criminal, robbing folks, drug addict. And we had this great experience, meaning that people were investing into this show. And what happened? They came to YouTube. You knew the ones that was serious about their business, who wasn't. They came to YouTube. They started trashing the producers. I said, this is bad. I'm not doing that show. But they didn't know, stupid people, that when you sign a release form, that gives them full control over your likeness. That show can come out tomorrow, next year. It can go anywhere. You signed over your rights. So why would you trash the person that can still put it out there? So no, I personally, I didn't want to do that. And I'm the best roaster and gagger ever. But I knew these people ain't going to get roasted. I'm going to keep this relationship. I'm going to shut up, keep doing my celebrity gossip, keep reading my books. And then when I went to these spaces, because I was able to meet Sean and them. I believe they came to Dallas a couple of years back. I still want this relationship with these people. These are some good folks. And yes, is Sean Bradley messy? Yes. But you underestimate the relationship with his audience. And I said, baby, I want this. And so I was cool with them. I'm good with it. Like, and then they get to see Wiley off camera. Off camera, I'm just as shy, geeky, shy, quiet, but I'm taking everything in. Like, even when I went in for the taping, I didn't speak to a soul because I need to watch my surroundings. Oh my God, this is brand new. I never been on a reality show before with cameras, producers, never. I've only been on another show. I was a friend just in the audience, and he was on a court show, but I never, like, I'm on here. I'm a part of this. So, but I knew what they wanted. And I knew what they wanted, and so I delivered. And in some cases, I think I over-delivered, Paul, right? I think I over-delivered. And so whenever this come out, if it ever come out, they will say, Wiley should be canceled. He should be canceled. That's all I'm going to say. If it ever dropped, they're going to be calling for the cancellation of Wiley. Who is this man? But you know, I had to call my family. I did. I didn't know because I forgot I said it about my mother. And I had to call her because I am a disruptor. And I told my mother. I said, Ma, you are dysfunctional. I said, but I love you. But I have to talk about your dysfunction. That's a part of my brand. The more I go up, the more I will be talking about you. All your problems, your dysfunction, I will talk about it. And I'm just warning you. And I have to tell my family, y'all dysfunction will be used for my benefit. So that's part of it. And I at least I give her the courtesy to know it's coming down the pipeline. The more bigger I become, you will be famous too. Like, it will happen. So I didn't know I shared that about my mother with those cameras. I didn't know until it actually came out. And it's a whole lot of stuff. Like I told one of the producers, I forgot. So when this show ever do come out, I'm going to be like, oh. I said, because when they put the mics on you, you think you know, but you get comfortable. Like me and Blue Sky, we could be having a conversation, blah, 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 and I could be saying something under my breath, and it's going to pick it up. It's on you. But you forget. I kind of forgot. So whatever come out, I'll be like, did I choose that? Almost like, oh, did I say this? Like, whoa, like, because you get comfortable. They make you feel comfortable. They're going to feed you. You got drinks. You got some ganja. Conversation. Hormones is raging. And when I say, and I'm in my zone, and it's just like, when them cameras come on, I'm no longer Marquise. Booth, I am Wiley. When them cameras out, I'm just as quiet. Hi. I close that door. I don't want to talk to you or socialize with you. I'm in there reading. Developing my next response. But I'm watching everything. And then when they say, okay, we're about to go. Okay, this is our call sheet or whatever. We're about to go. All right. I get up. Now I'm Wiley. Once the camera's off, I'm just as quiet. You don't even know I blog. I'm quiet. I'm not in no cliques. I'm not in I'm to myself. Once the cameras are on, you're going to get Wiley. It's off. Baby, I'm in there, sleep, reading, and doing celebrity gossip. I wouldn't even, But to VS, I feel like it was a failure for her because she did burn a lot of bridges. She did. She burned a lot of bridges. And she's dealing with an identity crisis. And the B sector is nowhere near like where it was. It's dry and boring. It's nowhere near where it was. It could be better. It's different strategies I can use to make it better, but it's nowhere. I get so many invitations. Do you want to be a part of this play? No. Do you want to do this, be a judge at this Halloween thing? No. Are you paying me? There's only one person that can call me in the B sector. One. Two people. Almond Brown 09 can call me. She kind of her feelings about me, but she's a whole boss and I love her. And she can call me. Almond Brown 09. We can be beefing, have fallout, but we never go out publicly because that's a grown woman. And she know me. And she can call me. And Brianna can call me. Those two can call me. Them the only two phone calls that can call me right now and say, Wiley, let's do something in the big sector. I would do it. Them the only two people. Only two people. Of course, Sean Bradley can call. He's on the list too. But like, because he's not, I don't think he's like a full-time B sector person. But those two people, look, when I saw them trying to team up on Armin Brown and I, if she would have called me, I would have said I would have got the, okay. Because you know I love Armin Brown now. We go way back. I will never forget when she came on my show and her son said, "Oh, mama, he got on the wig." That's a dude in the wig. Her son said that. But I love her because I rock with her. Now, we're not going to always see eye to eye. That's to be expected. But she know me, right? Like she know what I stand for, how I am. And I'm not always right. I think she kind of disagreed with me when we had like a moderator. It was like a little rocky boat with the moderator. But I told everybody, I said, she gonna leave. She ain't gonna be here forever. Lady, now she gone. I told you it ain't gonna last long. We love Proud of Me. Proud of Me, I like her because she brings the drama. And then she go away. And I'm not gonna call her. I'll let her do whatever. She disappeared. She go away. She have a real career. She disappeared. We still communicate. But if I call her and tell her to come back, I know she ain't gonna act right. Because she have her own mind. She bring the drama, and she's a woman, and a lot of women can't stand her. So I'm like, I'll just leave to the side though. We could talk offline. But she's just a sweet. And she's a beautiful content creator. A lot of people don't know she produces a lot of great content. But she's not in the drama though. See, that's the thing. She ain't on the drama on her channel. She just ain't stuff. She ain't talking about no drama. You wouldn't even know if that's the same woman. But I knew she couldn't flock with the group of women. I knew she couldn't flock with this group. She's more so like me. I don't care about no clique. I'm going to do me, whatever. Screw you. Right? That's her. And I know where she comes because I'm the same way. F that. I can do what I want. We two stubborn people. So then, but I knew my hardcore producers were going to stick because me and Blue Skies, we have a longer relationship. It's kind of hard to abandon that. Like me, Blue Skies, and B Scales, we were in a group chat. I believe it was Blue Skies in the group chat. We was in a group chat, and then Day and Day and the other girl, y'all know her, and we love D1. I call her D1, Day and myself. We in a group chat. So it's kind of hard to abandon that. It's like real. And I met Dova, I met Blue Sky. So it's different. Like when I meet, you know what I give. So now we have a new group of moderators and stuff like that. Once you get to do it, if you can survive Wiley, you could be a moderator. Anyway, you're going to be strong. Because I go up and down, hot, cold, lukewarm. So you're going to survive anywhere, whatever you do it. Because y'all know how I am. And mouth open, of course. Like, we have a tight relationship. And our relationship so tight, I used to call. But that's when I ain't had no viewers like that. But it's different now because I get so many phone calls. I can't really pay attention to my moderators like I did. And that's my fault. Because I spoiled a lot of the people around me. I did. Even I spoiled my audience. It's like, I can't even take 2 days off. Where you at? You took 2 days off. Where you at? You can't even take 2 days off because back in the day, they used to Wiley being on live 8 hours, 9 hours, 4, 5 videos back to back to back to back. You used to it. Like, you see it back to back to back. And so now you have new people on it. You have Aaliyah TV, I've met. Nate, I've met. So culturally speaking, it's a different type of vibe. It's a different type of vibe. So that's why it's kind of hard to get away from Wiley because I'm too personal. Like I'm personal with you. But that's what they want. This is what my brand is. I do this. And this is like, it's other stuff that Wiley does. And also you have other people that watch our show, get upset what we say, they watches us. That's fine. Let them watch us, but they don't have the type of in-person relationship. I come together and be like, okay, Dallas Dallas people, let's meet up at What's Clucking, or let's meet up at the range. I do that with my people. I was just at the movies with a couple of producers last night. We do that. I didn't put it on the internet. You know why? Because these producers ain't in the chat. These are private people. Her homegirls came in. I met them there, and we was out there watching The Equalizer. Like, they don't come in the chat. You don't see them in the chat. They know every beef. They know everything I said. They can quote me or whatever. Beautiful. Hey, Wiley, you know what I mean? Let's go to the movies. Like, I'm like, cool, blah, 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 blah. Let's go. So, because like some people, they don't want, I would have invited you, but they want to just see me. They didn't want to see anybody else. Because some of these people really have real jobs. Like some of the folks that I've met, I understand why they don't want to be here. They just want to have a one-on-one interaction. But I would do that with the producers. I've done it. I've met other producers. We went to IHOP one time. I met producers in Chicago. I don't publicize it because they don't want it. I'm going to get your, hey, is it okay? Like, blah, blah, blah. You know, because they don't want it to be publicized. I get it. But when it comes to the beef sector, I've learned a lot of stuff from VS. I did. I love that despite how evil that operation was, it was a family. It really was. And VS was the true leader. That woman was an alpha woman. And she was bad. And let me tell you about our relationship when I knew it was the end of me and VS relationship. And we probably would have still been cool. But Rico, he wanted me to come to DC. And I said, I will come, but I don't have the money for, he said, well, I work at a hotel. We're going to get a nice hotel room on me. I paid for my flight. He had the hotel. And we got on the bus and the train. We brought Rico. No one knew who this Rico was, like on camera. He was just a King Sean Bradley fan, Armand Wiggins fan. But something that King, Sean Bradley, and Armand Wiggins, they're not Wiley. And they're not on the phone with you when you're flirting. And I'm flirting back. They're not going to do that, but I will. It was a major mistake, though, because the man started to fall in. It wasn't love. It was strong lust. He called it love. Let's just give it to him. He said he was in love. And I was playing him all for clicks and views. And I'm acting. The cameras are on. I'm acting. Hey, you know, me and Rico, we in DC. It was like DC gay. Then Sean Bradley came out. He said it's Dookie Gate. This was the B sector. He said it was Dookie Gate. But the first video, this is the highlight of the B sector, baby. I missed those days of the B sector because we were celebrities. So we go to DC and Jay Wilson, baby, cars, plane, city bus, trains, and no car. Bye-bye. They couldn't even afford a car, a rental. Baby, what about Enterprise? Baby, whoa. They couldn't even afford herbs. They on the train, the city bus. Baby, did y'all see Rico? When Rico got Wally, a teddy bear, and chocolates? Baby, on the city bus. When I was their age back in 1973, I had me a Cadillac, baby. Anyway, so everybody was live about this DC because I knew if I wanted to make noise to compete with Vegas Gate, I had to get VS in this. VS, Wiley, the two biggest rising stars in this sector, we could dominate. So VS wanted to meet, and I said, I got a plan. I knew Rico didn't like VS. He called her evil, the Dark Forest, whatever. But I said, I got to meet her. We meet at the casino, and Rico played it right. He was emotional. He started cussing and blah, 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 and crying. Chocolate Bay car got towed, and Tracy interviewed Rico. He got all these super chats and cash apps and all. No, he got cash apps. And all, I'm just feeding it all. And And we went up to the Airbnb, and VS, to her credit, she said, we're going to stay here. And if you don't let you in, you come back to the hotel. But of course, Rico let me in. I knew he liked me, and I preyed upon that. I did. I said, okay, I'm still in here. We do a little smoke. We like other guys start to come. But you know, that was like DC Gate. And it was a good experience. It was real. I got a drink thrown in my face. It was the new version of the DC. Like, DC Gate is more memorable in my eyes than Vegas Gate, because I wasn't a part of it. DC Gate was so iconic that to this day in that sector, they still talk about DC Gate. It was iconic. The reason what made it iconic, Rico was the rising star, emotional, attractive, skinny bones. Wiley was skinny. VS was she was VS. And the beauty about this story is VS, the women that follow her, all of them want to sleep with VS, including QI, critical thinking. All right. So QI, critical thinking, was supposed to be in a relationship with VS, right? But me and VS planned that we're gonna have a baby, we're gonna get married, we're gonna screw and have a baby, and she's believable. So I'm following her lead, her storyline, and I'm really getting turned on. And QI was mad. Baby, QI was in her feelings. She hated. And what really pissed her off, I got turned on, and she saw down there I was turned on. Like I was, and she hated that because I had something she don't have. My thing worked, and it ain't used and bruised up and gooey. It's hard and ready. So QI, critical thinking, was upset, and she was mad. But let's fast forward before that hotel experience. VS had to come rescue me because I called and said, I'm about to call the cops on this dude. He threw a drink. He threw a drink. I'm trying to catch my breath. My eyeballs is burning. He threw a drink in my face. That's an assault. I want him arrested. And VS said, don't call the cops. I'm on my way. And so Rico, I understand. You can stay with me. I gotta clean up this place. And there was a bottle of liquor drop, a big old liquor stain on the headboard of that. I don't understand. You supposed to love me. We supposed to work together. And all this type of stuff. I mean, he cried. But then I'm like, why you crying? You threw the drink in my face. I should be crying. I got my stuff packed in the car with VS. And I said, VS, can you bring Rico back home? Oh, no, Wiley. Oh, my God. Because in her mind, she think that Rico was planning with Sean Bradley to get her arrested. She didn't want to do it. She said, okay. But the mother of VS trumped the personality because she's a woman and she's a mother. And she said, okay, Wiley, tell him he can come on. But he got to sit on the other side and you sit behind me. Okay. So we in VS SUV truck, Rico in there crying or whatever. Now, mind you, I want to laugh. I want the cameras rolling, but I didn't want Rico to punch me. I don't want to be fighting. I'm about to go. My flight, we leave that evening. So we go to McDonald's, and yeah, he didn't want to give me no pain, and I paid for that pain. You know, I'm talking about my pain. And VS no better. Wiley, why would you do that? Oh, no, Wiley, you did that. Like, we playing Rico because we know he emotional. So she going to act like she's on Rico. Say, why are you doing that to Wiley? Why would you play? You shouldn't have did that. Why you didn't give Rico no pain? And he better not laugh, and he better not do this and stuff like that. He always be trying to laugh. I know he better not laugh. And you know, I'm gonna respect you there because I know you a lawyer. I'm gonna respect you because I know you the Dark Forest. I want to respect you right now. And I'm trying to hold in my laugh. I want to laugh because I got a drink thrown in my face because I laughed at him when he said, I know QI and VS, they bust a couple of, they bust. And I started, and whoosh. He was pissed. I laughed at him. I shouldn't have did that. So, and he was complaining. He was looking dead at me in my face, and I'm trying to look at him. I'm just looking out the window like, I'm gonna just deal with this. I'm gonna let her get it out. So we get to we get to McDonald's, and I didn't open the door up for VS. Be respectful. Open the door for a woman. See how he do. And I was just like, just give me a McGriddle and all that type of stuff. And I pay for the food or whatever. And Rico was just there. He had about 3 cell phones. I'm ready to go. And so we dropped Rico off. I mean, it was so hot. I think we were in Maryland. We were somewhere. I think it was in Maryland, but we dropped him off. It was hot, and I'm ready to go. And so Rico and VS, they made up. They do a public. They make up. And VS said, "Go in there and screw Rico," and I couldn't do it. I felt that I went up those stairs. And he pulled off his clothes. I couldn't arise. I wasn't attracted to Rico. And I couldn't act to pretend like I was, because I wasn't. He was attractive. He looked nice. He was, I wasn't attracted to him. And I was in that hot heat box bathroom. Hot heat. And that was it. And I left. And then we went, called Chocolate Bay, and I kept the storyline going. And then we get to the hotel. I think we're in Virginia now. Yeah, we were in Virginia now. We go to the hotel, and she said, "Wiley, they don't want to talk to you. They mad at you or whatever. They mad at me." So I go there, I'm talking to people. I didn't believe her. I'm like, "Hey, Q. I mean, those lesbians, they looked at me like I was the scum of the earth. Everybody was, the tensions was high. And Q, what's your problem? You left me. I told you I had to go get Wiley, and you're supposed to be my woman to protect me, and you had to go down there and get you some coffee? So your cup of coffee is more than the safety of your woman?" And I'm in there laughing. No, before I start laughing, then it was another lesbian woman there. She was mad at VS too, because she left her too. "I'm waiting on my rad, my cousin. Are you getting in the car or not?" This VS. "Are you getting in the car or not? Skip that. Susie gonna think about Susie." And she drove off. Then her and QI get in. No. And then I was like, "Hey, don't you worry about him laughing. Where were you at protecting me? You weak." So we go to the thing, and Chocolate Bay sitting beside. He said, "Don't say nothing." I'm laughing. This is entertaining. So we get to the restaurant. So I'm secretly recording at the restaurant. This was the base actor. I'm at the restaurant. And we eat the food or whatever. Then we go to the pool. Then we in the pool. I'm attracted to VS in real life because she's beautiful. Thick. And she was smaller then, but thick. Smelled good. Anyway. So when that happened, I knew then the relationship of VS and Wiley is completely over. It would have always been over, but VS override them because me and her, we were cool. We was cool. We was. I understood her. She understood me. We were cool. We would strategize. We would do content. She would send her people my way. I was sending people her way. I wouldn't go live when she go live. We had a understanding. But I knew to save face, Sean Bradley came out and said, motherfucker, you messed up your bag. And see, Wiley, you messed up your bag yet again. I was talking to some producers. They was going to produce your documentary. And you messed up your bag because you dealing with that heifer over there at the Dark Forest. And VS one early morning got up because she would go, she took my morning show idea and she did an early morning show. So she go live. Hello, you guys. This is VS Susie, Sue Slam. Good morning. Right now, I'm going to let Wiley go so he can grow. I don't want to stop Wiley's growth. TSCC members, y'all are no longer allowed in Wiley chat. I don't want to see none of the producers from Wiley in my chat. I want him to go so he can grow, get end the relationship. And so I didn't know. And then what she would do, she would release a video and then she would private it. So when I went live, everybody said, VS said this about you. And then she did a longer video. And I said, I understand. And I was like, Sean Bradley didn't have no deal because at the time, I didn't know the connections that Sean Bradley had, right? Until later on, once VS been arrested and she's gone, then I knew, okay, Sean Bradley did have people that watched the Wiley show, but they was afraid of Wiley because of my relationship with VS. So I give him that. But then some of my audience members, the producers, right? They wanted to go, they wanted to go to VS show, like, because she was entertaining. So one of my old school producers, I'm not gonna say her name, one of my old day one supporters went to VS channel and she cussed the lady out. And she called Wiley, I don't understand. Get out of my chat. Go over there to Wiley. I don't want you. Blah, blah, blah. Cussed her out and she called me. Because I get it. And then what VS did, she pulled some of my top givers. What was the lady name? It was an old lady. If y'all know her name, post her name. She started taking my good givers and she took them to her side. 2 of my top givers, she took them. And she took 2 of them. And Bless Watkins, and it was somebody else she took. And Bless Watkins, so one of the members, I forgot her name, but Bless had a relationship with one of my producers. They were seeing, both of them were seeing citizens. And so she called me. She said, Wiley, I don't understand. Why can I not go to Wiley's show? This is the YouTube. I like you, Wiley. But Wiley, I said, but why did you join VS? Wiley, VS told us that you trashed us and dogged us, Wiley. That's what she said. And I'm recording her. And Bless Watkins is mad at me because I know I watch you, Wiley. You know I watch you. You know I watch you, Wiley. I like watching you. You one of my favorite creators. Because that sister, I still got the television she bought me. So we having this conversation. I'm recording her and I post a recording. Because I done took one of my members back for VS. We at war. So it was recorded. So then Brianna, this is when Brianna became a household name. She allowed me to come on her show. This showed Brianna as being, she was really wasn't one of the power players of this. She lived in VS shadow and she shot up on the charts. And I went up on that show ready with ammunition. I already got this lady. And then Bless Watkins came. I gave you this, Wiley, and all that. My purse is closed, Wiley. What do you mean? And you talk to that lady. I said, but that lady said this about you. And Bless posted a picture of Duchess Kelly Love, because one of the ladies that I took back to my side, they had pictures of Duchess Kelly Love, but Bless Watkins posted it on Brianna's channel and did not give that receipt to VS. I knew. I said, uh-oh. And Brianna was like, Bless, why didn't you get, that's a receipt. It ain't no receipt. Why didn't you get it to VS? Why didn't you get it to that show, the Messy Express? Why didn't you give it? I said, yes, because she calling me right now that's a receipt and everything. And I'm egging it on. And Bless got dragged. Oh, they dragged poor Bless. Oh, they dragged. It was war. And VS was pissed that a receipt was leaked on Brianna's channel. I mean, Brianna getting them clicks and views. And I'm on the channel. Everybody dragging Wiley, but I'm in character. I'll take it. But I'm going to make sure I'm going to let VS, because I knew VS was sending Brianna some receipts. I'm prepared for that. But VS wasn't prepared for like the Blessed fallout and stuff like that. And it happened. And it was destroyed. The whole Mess Express just went away. She started dragging Bless Watkins. It was bad. She couldn't be trusted. We started going against Duchess Kelly Love. We started going against this other woman. And then the lady, wait a minute. And then the lady that we took back from VS, she was in the chat. You in the mess. She was telling Brianna, y'all too messy. I don't do mess. And Brianna said, girl, you in the mess. What do you mean? You are messy too. What do you mean? You in the mess. So, I mean, I'm reading receipts that I don't have these receipts, but I'm reading. They ain't gonna stop me from reading my phone. I'm reading fake receipts. Yeah, she just told me this. She posted this information. I'm just egging it on. Because this is a whole war. And so me and VS was at war with great content. I mean, I would never get my Thanksgiving video. We were trashing VS, telling she was baking puppies, and it was a war. It was a flat out war because we knew her strategies. We knew her game plan. We knew how she rolled. And so we just went at it. We went toe to toe with VS. See, everybody was scared of VS. They was frightened. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared of her at all. So still not scared of that woman. And so me and VS, we had our little tit for tat. But first of all, I ain't scared of you. We gonna go tit for tat. Let's go. But this is where I knew when Brianna became a star, I helped that. My interview helped that. It showed the world what I saw in Brianna, that she's gifted. I saw that talent in Brianna. I saw it in her, and it still do. She's a sweet woman. People can't take her. She's a confident, beautiful sister, and I F with her. And me and Brianna been cool ever since. And we still cool to this day. And she the only one that can call me. And then when Brianna called me the next time, I came back in the beef sector. I went on Brianna's show, and Armand Wiggins was having some beef with King and stuff like that. I used Brianna's show to get back at Armand because he started coming to my backyard into the beef sector with Jay Wilson and stuff. So I used Brianna, and I started releasing receipts of Armand trashing Jay Wilson and calling that show, the gentleman, boring. And so I had some receipts. I was ready. I was going back and forth. And so this was full station and stuff like that. So we knew how to do beef. And we still had a war. To this day, we still had a war. But it was entertaining because the viewers were entertained. And for me, the beauty of the beef sector is because they had, what was that? Lipstick Alley. And it was VS that taught me how to use Lipstick Alley. So I started using that data. This was for AI. They would literally in real time post different beefs on Lipstick Alley. So I would go on there and use that to my benefit. And I would say different stuff and just go dragging. And one thing about Wiley, because I wasn't in the clique, I wasn't a TSCC member, I was just Wiley, and I dominated that. I was going at it, and I made a name for myself in the beef sector. I did. It was great. I met Zero Tolerance, very attractive guy. I met him. I was in his hotel room, him and his man. We came up with a storyline with that. I met VS, right? I've met Jay Wilson. I've met Duchess Kelly Love, wanted to he wanted to meet. He was aggressive. He was very attracted to me. I wasn't attracted. He was old guy. So he wanted to meet me and stuff like everybody wanted to meet me. I was the rising star in this B sector. I was the rising star. We made the B sector pop because for me, I've always had my hands outside the B sector. I had the beef with Armand Wiggins, and VS was my ally. He got ran out of the B sector. I had that. I had this great relationship with many of the powerful people in the B sector, but I exit the sector because I wanted something greater. I was still been at 5,000 followers if I stayed in the B sector because it was no type of expansion growth. It was hard because it was you had to know the players, you had to know their names, you had to be in it. I made it lit and I loved it. And so when it comes to the celebrity gossip sector, I have to find my own way. And it's still some things that I can work out, some kinks to work out. But the big sector, I'll always give that sector credit for helping me in my career. I want to give them credit. It's a family. They know who I am. I know them. We are a family. When I saw F Babe on the news when she went to the Renaissance tour, I saw F Babe on there, and they asked F Babe a question. What's your favorite Beyonce song? And F Babe said, "All of them." I'm a fan. Like, that's family. And F Babe is attractive. I would look, me and F Babe, like, I really was following some of them chicks in the B sector. Good looking. And the beauty of F Babe, I'm talking about in the beginning stages when she was trying, I saw when she came up in the game. That sister came up in the game. She looked like a whole crackhead with that AC in the back. Dusty looking, no makeup, just F Babe. And she would come and talk about Wiley. I will never forget, Wiley was like, skip that. It's about the clicks and views. And then she would criticize Wiley. I would love to find that video of F Babe. Like when she started talking about Wiley. Baby, F Babe, I saw her rise. And I saw when she made money, when she came up in the game. Ooh, girl. But they doxed her. She was dating a raggedy looking man, a pimp, and used that man for his money. She got exposed, used the man for the money. She got exposed about her first child. Something happened there. Like, she started getting exposed too. Then her mama went to a church and got a degree, but it wasn't an accredited college. It was from a church. So I called the church. Like, I'm telling you, like, that's the B sector, baby. That is the B sector. I missed the sector. We had some days in that sector that I would cherish forever. Like, we are, it was, and still is a dysfunctional family over there. A dysfunctional family. Like, even Jay Wilson. Personally, I knew who was jealous of me, and Jay Wilson was. Jay Wilson was so jealous of me. Before Jay Wilson and Timothy Bland were beefing and putting each other's name inside, it was Wiley and Jay Wilson. He couldn't stand my guts. He was jealous. He studied me. He was mad that I can preach better than him, sing better than him. He was jealous. He couldn't stand that I was broke, but I was confident. I was confident. He couldn't stand it. I'll be on the city bus doing content. He would get mad. He on the city bus, right? So he saw it. And so he was upset and jealous, and still is. When we came back to the B sector, he was mad. But they know Wiley is a superstar. I'm younger, faster, and I know your style. But I stopped. I didn't want to do it anymore because the B sector is not the same anymore. It's definitely not the same anymore. And so, but I was in the B sector. I did what I did. I opened the door for many talented people to take over. I feel as though a lot of them are lazy. A lot of them not going toe-to-toe. If VS the enemy, you got to have somebody to go toe-to-toe with the enemy. And ain't nobody willing, everybody want to go in group. No, you got to go at it and go all in. And that what made me different. And so I feel like Jay Wilson and he's a hypocrite. He ain't no real preacher. No anointing at all. He's anointed, all right, that peen and that badussi, that's it. Because the thing with Jay Wilson, I think he's still mad at me to this day because we exposed him. We pushed him out the closet. So what? I'd do it again. But it was my team, one of my supporters, doxed them. They lived in this area, made a fake Jack account, send me the information. I put it out there and I exposed Jay Wilson. Jay Wilson came out, all right, I was never in the closet. He got exposed out of the closet, and Wiley did it. And I don't feel shame. We exposed him out the closet, but I didn't make the Jack account. But they made it. They made that Jack account, and they catfished Jay Wilson out the closet. Because I already knew he was, but I needed evidence. And then one person said, I'm tired of this man terrorizing Wiley. I'm going to set Jay Wilson, and they set him up. And I posted the information. And he didn't even have no lube. He didn't have no lubrication. So the person was attractive, thuggish looking guy, and Jay Wilson got in it, and we exposed him. And then Jay Wilson said, I'm on Jack to sell prep. You ain't on no Jack to sell no prep. You on Jack to get your badissi prepped and turned loose. And we exposed it. And then Jay Wilson came out, all right, Rada lives, baby. I was never in the closet. Yes, you was. You were pretending to be straight. So Jack, if you all don't know what Jack is, JACKD, it is an app where man is and they get it in. They say it's a social media app. It's a get it in type of app. So the screw type of app is the gay version of Tinder. So when that happened, they call it a dating app. It was a screwing app anyway. So we exposed him out the closet. And I got backlash for it, but it was entertaining. Those were the days of the B sector. And it was a great sector. It really was. It shifted and changed once Wiley left. Once VS left, I left, it ended. It ended. Because everybody wanted to join cliques. And then what hurt the B sector, everybody stopped going on camera. Because most people was fat, got bumps, bald spots, dark circles, crusty lips, crusty nose, and they all started doing this. That ended the sector. When they stopped going on camera, they ended it. Because the beauty of the B sector is when you went on camera, I can have my notes. I can drag you because I can see it. It was difficult for me to drag you when you're behind this. I don't know who you are. And that is what destroyed the B sector. And what destroyed the B sector is they allowed these untrolls to dominate their commentary. We never did it. Either you gonna come up on this show, I had to turn to have a phone line. They was using free conference call. I was using Blog Talk Radio, and I was on camera. I stayed on camera. I couldn't do it like this. Blah, 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 blah. No, I want you to see me. And so once they stopped doing that, you could see the person, I said it's done. And it went down. The engagements of the B sector went down. It's not iconic like it was in the past. If they all start coming back on camera and going toe to toe, it can have a rebirth. But until then, it won't. So I don't know any of like the new players on the B sector. I don't care. They all garbage and trash. I get invitation for all the new guys and girls in the B sector. Can you come on my channel? Can you do an interview? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I tell them no, because I'm not interested. I'm not interested. If you come in, if somebody were to do a panel show and we all come on camera, I'll do it. If somebody would tell VS and VS will come and we can have a conversation with VS and myself, we could be on camera, I'll do it. She did it with 7 stars. They said that woman couldn't walk. She couldn't screw. They said that she catfished a man, and the man said she couldn't, her yoni was whack. She did all that type of stuff. But if you can have a conversation, you can have a conversation with Wiley. Right? Most of these new people in the B sector are garbage. They're trash. Because if you don't show yourself on camera, you're garbage and you trash. You have a real job. You don't want people to see you're garbage and trash, and I don't trust you. I want to be able to, if I can't see you, you trash. And then with these new creators on the B set to try to talk mess, but don't want to show themselves. And they make sure they put black tape on their webcam. They don't want you to see. Talk mess. And I know they look bad because you couldn't tell me you look good and don't want to show it. You look bad and you stink. It's a disadvantage. You on the thumbnail. So if you don't show yourself on camera, you are trash and garbage. One thing I can say, VS, she do show herself on camera. Need a better camera system, but she do show herself. I hope she does. But the thing about VS, she got about 3,000 pages. No, you need one page, VS, and go live. This whole trying to do a Facebook group chat. She have an identity crisis over there, and it's trash. And that's kind of messed up the storyline. It needs to be a central place. Tracy got her page, go live, show up on camera. And Tracy will get a lot of clicks and views. We know you bald-headed. We know you poor. Show it. Jay Wilson, sometimes he come on camera. He try to be the superstar. He's garbage. What's the other guy, the big guy, he lost weight, desperate, mother. Him show up, but he's a great author. He show up on camera a lot. F Bab show up on camera a lot. I would love to do it. We get on camera and talk, but just show up on camera, baby. If you're on the thumbnail, you garbage. I can't have a debate. You got a whole thumbnail. I want to see your ugly kids. If you got ugly kids, it's okay. Everybody ain't gonna have no beautiful kids. You will have ugly. Because if ugly didn't exist, beauty wouldn't exist. You had nothing to compare it to. You would just exist. So I'm just personally just saying it. But in this particular beef sector, it had some changes. And VS, everybody is waiting on the VS and Wiley reunion. Everybody is waiting on this conversation. Yes, we went toe-to-toe, but they are waiting on us to sit on camera on the StreamYard and let's have that conversation. They're waiting on that. They're waiting on that. I think most people are waiting on that conversation with VS and Wiley. I am now saying on this particular show that I am open for an open dialogue with VS from TSCC, the leader, the icon, the legend. I am open to having a conversation with VS. And let's nip that storyline in the bud. And if you're ready, VS, because I know you're watching, let's have that conversation. Let's have that conversation. I want to have a conversation with VS live. And let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. I seen QI critical thinking. I want to have a conversation with my sister. Because I felt like I hurt her by stealing her woman. VS. I would love to have a conversation with her. I would love to do a tour. If I ever come back to do one last tour, I want a conversation with Jay Wilson. I want a conversation with F Bab and QB of the Midwest. I want a conversation with Tracy. Us have a conversation. That'll be my last tour on the B sector. I want to have a conversation with those people. And so if you all want to see it, tell her. And VS, I'm looking directly to you. It is time that you and I have a conversation. Okay? It's time for a conversation. And the beauty of the beef sector need this. We need to show these newbies how the OG used to do it. Let's bring it back. A real, authentic beef. Let's do it. and we're ready for it. And a lot of people are saying, well, and I hear what you say, and saying you want people to come on camera. Do they can be doxxed? Because that's what it comes down to. Thanks to the OG that the newbies know better. Well, I understand it, but it hurts the B sector. It hurts it. The B sector, it was built on authentic or being authentic. It was built on you coming on camera, you showing your flaws. We all went through it. F Bab went through it. Wiley went through it. Jay Wilson, he lost so many jobs. He went through it. We all went through hell. And that's why to this day, we are still being remembered as the architect of the beef sector. How you find it quite strange that I am still being remembered as part of the beef sector? I'm still being remembered. And so, VS, you came in my chat a couple of days ago. Let's come on camera. If we could do it right now. Paul, can you drop a link in there? We can do it right now. We can do it right now. Anybody else that's welcome to we can do it right now. Anybody want to say something? We could post a number if anybody want to call in, because we do have a call-in show as well. Anybody want to call in and have something to say about it, you can call in as well. All right. I don't know any of, and please excuse me if I don't know who you are. Charge it to my mind of not knowing, not to my heart. But if you want to call in, this is your time to call in. If anybody got something to say about the B sector and myself, and anybody got something to say, you're more than welcome to call in. If you want to call in, you're more than welcome to at this particular time. Okay. If you got something to say, or if you want to hit the link. Okay. Okay. Anybody want to come on? Indigo, come on here. I want to meet who you are. If you can call in or hit the link. You don't have to show yourself on camera. Okay, because I don't know who you are. And I would like to meet you. I believe you are a woman. Hopefully. If not, please excuse me. Anybody got something to say? Anybody? And so back in the day, we used to do it. I used to pull up to them phone lines back in the day, baby. It was a video with me and Jay Wilson. We were going at it. Me and Jay Wilson was going at it. And when I tell you that Jay Wilson and myself was going at it, we were going at it. That was the time of us doing that. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's put the president on line. Hello.
Not Trump. Not really.
Let's put the president on. How you doing? Can you introduce yourself to me?
Hello, Wiley. This is Indigo. How are you?
I am doing well. So you are a B sector creator, correct?
Kinda, sorta. I'm really new to the game, but I've been in the B sector for like 6, 7 years as a subby.
Oh, 6, 7 years, you decided to create a channel?
Yeah, sort of.
What do you mean, sort of?
Well, I initially was asked, since I'm very opinionated, I'm a very opinionated subscriber. So a lot of people said I should, start a channel because I'm very, very opinionated. So I did. So, as a new content creator, I'm just trying to feel myself out. I was told I should get a mentor, and maybe I should get a mentor because to get myself in the right direction. But in the meantime, I go live when I can, because I do have a career, family, and other stuff. So I can't dedicate it full time right now.
So what have you been talking about lately on your show?
Well, besides people addressing me for the stupid stuff, I do want real content on my channel. I do want to do like topics that's concerning me. Like I'm going to do a topic about why the mass killing of Black women in this country, or actually around the world, is so much of the femicide of Black women.
I understand that, but in the B sector, like that won't fit in the B sector. So, do you, if you're in the B sector, like what topics have you been addressing that considered in the B sector? When you say you are addressing people, who are those people? Say their names.
The last person was Pizarro.
Pizarro.
Yes, that was the last person.
And what was she saying?
Oh, I don't know what she be seeing. Basically, there was like some issues. God, what issues that she don't have? But she be drumming up, like starting up a lot of problems with me and a couple of other people. And she dresses us as the freshman crew, so she likes to pick fights with us and stuff like that. And she tries to create storylines and stuff like that.
Oh, that's what Pizarro tried to do. So she don't show herself up on camera.
No, not at all. She'll even show a picture.
She show a picture, but
no, not even the picture of herself. We don't know what she looks like.
You don't know what she looked like.
No.
So when she addressed you, what did you say to Pizarro? Do you just say, how do you do it? How do you respond? Do you put her name in the title?
Yeah. I address her. I say all types of stuff. I don't know the type of you seem like you have a respectable show, so I don't want to say the things.
No. I'm just saying I get it because it's like the B sector. I get y'all go too back and forth, but what made my time in the B sector memorable is because,
oh my gosh, Rob, you have so many.
Because you put a face to it, like you saw it, and it's going to live on forever.
Right.
I think Pizarro and yourself, if y'all show up on camera and get in a pool with water, it's just a reaction for the audience. I feel like the OGs are still being remembered more than you new folks is because the OGs showed up on camera. They did the work. And I feel like it would be better. Like Pizarro, I don't know. Like for me, it's like you're trying to say she's trying to force a storyline. See, back in the day, we didn't have to force a storyline. Like we knew, because if you just listen to a creator long enough, they're gonna dox themselves.
Right.
So we utilized that. And 5A showed up to my church. I post her pictures when she was in her dirty pantyhose. Like we had very iconic moments. We went there. I mean, someone got Tracy deceased mother posted, VS posted on her community wall. Like people did the work. And so, but if you listen to a creator long enough, they would tell them themselves, they will self-dox themselves.
Right.
And that's something where even Tracy doxed where she lived because she was ordering a Polish sausage from 7-Eleven. And she was ordering from somewhere, and she told them their address or apartment number. She doxed herself. So
she
was ordering the Polish sausage and stuff like that. And then we didn't know her apartment was filthy, but she dropped the cell phone, like she opened up her StreamYard drop, and we saw the filthy of her apartment. They took a screenshot and it went viral around the world. So I'm just saying, like, those was those iconic moments that I can go back to. Like, we knew that VS was breeding puppies.
Right.
But to make it a beef, I said maybe she's cooking the puppies, making puppy stuffing. So I could just pick what I see because she would do all this stuff because we saw it, and then it was the reaction. The B sector worked as long as the camera was on. You were talking. The B sector able to live. I don't know how I would survive with the new folks because I can't see you. I don't know your story. It will be harder for me to do that.
Right.
And so not impossible. It'll be a little challenge. But back in the day, it was easy to see Jay Wilson in that empty house that he can't afford, Airbnb, riding Uber, getting fired from his college, university, fake doctor, went to an uncredited college. You knew this because he posted this information. Books, misspelled words. It wasn't no Audible.
Oh my God.
So I can still remember those iconic things. Uncle Tim, he had a dog. That was his weak spot. Maybe you sleeping with the dog. I don't know. He probably was.
Lord Jesus.
And so we start talking about the dog, and I got a reaction out of Uncle Tim because I knew his weak spots.
Right.
Crackhead, meth addict, crack, same thing. Prison criminal. So I can use it. And I read his book, and he made a book called The Meth Monster. That's why he ain't got no teeth. And so, and so we would talk about that stuff, and he would respond to me. He would watch me, and all of it was just the beauty of the beat sector. And that's why I talk about the OGs, because they still come on camera. I can still go back. The new guys, the new women, y'all just don't show yourself, but it'll be just a challenge. But as a viewer perspective, it's more entertaining when we can see you than just hearing you. It's a difference.
No, I actually agree, but it would have been, I think more people would come online if people would stop doxing. Like, there are people that I'm not even gonna go on your platform. I would do it on someone who is platform that is not trying to grow. But there's our people in the B sector that is literally trying to find out people's information on purpose, just to say, "Aha, I found this person out," and try to expose them. And it's like a witch hunt of people doing that, and so I think that takes away from people wanting to go on camera. Like, I have a whole career out here,
but it's difficult because it's still a challenge, because unless you're using a different type of voice, the wrong person hear that, like, I know who that person is. It's just like, for me, my family went through it. I mean, I got letters, I got people sent to my home, I've sent to my church, allegations. I went through it all, so I understand for a new person that could be frightening, especially if you have children, because they can call Child Protective Services every other day, and they have to come. And it's sad that you have to deal with it, and it's frightening that you have to continue to deal with this type of behavior. But that's it. Kind of ended the beef sector because a lot of the new creators are not willing to take that risk of showing up on camera or showing their personal lives. You know what I'm saying? So it's so very sad that it happened. But also too, though, who else is there? You said Pizarro. I don't know anybody. Who else is new in this? Because I did hear that they said people from the conscious community or from the Black conscious community have integrated into the beef sector. Is that true?
To some degree, yeah. Some beef sector, we just watch people from other sectors.
Yeah.
I don't think it kind of integrated because beef sector ain't having it. But yeah,
because I think that the reason why y'all have to go to other sectors is because the beef sector is losing its juice.
Yeah.
So you have to go watch another sector. And so,
and there's panels too. The panels be killing it. Especially we have certain panel killers. Like, they go on every single panel, on every single platform, and a lot of them are faceless. And they say the same thing on every panel, and it's like getting regurgitated on every platform. It's like you watching the same show 6 or 7 times. So
right. And see, for me, I unless, and it will hit differently if you show up on camera and you have more direction. And then for me, I don't like, and I get turned off, 8, 10 people or whatever, how many people on streaming are trying to talk, and they all talking over each other. I can't, I'm gonna zone out of it because it's stupid.
Right.
It's no type, I didn't learn nothing. It's not iconic. But when VS, and it is a blueprint, if VS were to release those old tapes of the Message Express, it was a sound, it was quality, it was topics, it was dialogue.
Right.
I will never forget it. QI and VS were talking. It was period panties. I did not have on no period panties. You did have on period panties. Like, I can still remember that.
Right.
I can still remember when QI was begging her co-host to pay her light bill because she had a sickness and she couldn't pay her bill. I forgot the type of sickness that she had. And she needed her light, but VS, I didn't have the money because they had a pot together. VS said, "You can leave." I leave. You gotta delete the video. She punked QI. I mean, she punked Lady Nika. She had no choice because I knew the beginning story of Lady Nika's storyline.
Right.
Paid her off and gave her some money to go against Sean Bradley. Lady Nika, before she got her teeth fixed, the false teeth in her mouth was a gap.
Oh, Jesus.
And she said, "Yes, I just want to thank you.
Oh my God.
You gave me my
decompression. Oh my
you
God.
gave me my voice back. I just want to tell you, Mia, you gave me my voice back when they dragged me in the Vegas game. You gave me my voice. And BS started donating money. But BS, because she started begging Bless Walkins and the other guy, her right-hand man, what was his name? Her right-hand man to pay her light bill, and VS upset about that. And she
you talking about Chopper?
Yeah, Chopper. She asked Chopper out of his Social Security check to give to give money to pay her light bill. This was all on camera. He was on a fixed income living with a white man in LA, and she needed she needed a light bill paid.
I remember.
So that I can still remember like it happened yesterday.
Oh.
So that's iconic. I just think that it was there, and that's what's missing is great storytelling. It was good. It was just real, authentic. And Lady Nika to this day, she doesn't go toe to toe with VS. She's very timid. She punked her because we all knew that Lady Nika was poor. We knew that she was broke, and she shared.
Oh my God!
And she had to return somebody money on MoneyGram. I think they forced Lady in, but she probably never did it. Somebody sent to somebody, they want their money back, and she tried to scam them, whatever. But I just remember those moments, and those moments will be remembered forever.
I don't think Lady Nika ain't broke no more. I think that was just back then.
Well, then I don't know. She could be still in the trailer park. I mean, it'd be great. I mean, you get in research. She is a senior citizen. She could be getting government assistance, whatever case may be.
Oh my God.
It's being paid. The well being paid by the government. She probably got some disability because she played sick. Oh, I'm so sick. I can't really do it. But you roasted the gag. Maybe Social Security need to see that video. How you roast the people. If you well enough to roast, you well enough to get a regular job. I'm just saying. But that's her business and Social Security business. But
oh my God.
But that's what she did. Obviously, she came into some money because she got her teeth fixed. She got her some good dental care. It's fake and false, but she got her some good dental care, and she needed it because she was tired of them calling her crocodile, cracker mouth, or what was the name of her?
If I don't want to say it because God, Lord, I don't want to. Nobody think I'm getting
out of what was something?
No, I'm not saying it. I know it, but I don't want to say it.
Okay, it was something that they said about her mouth.
I know what it is. I just don't want to say it.
Right, and it messed her up, and she got her teeth fixed.
I know.
It was hurt. Okay. Man, Gator mouth. It was something that could
I am not saying it.
Cracker mouth.
Stop, Wiley.
Gator crop. Right. They said it to her, and that Sean Bradley club chat, they was against Lady. They came at her hard, and them people had resources, and they dogged her. They dogged her, and she had enemies, so she needed an ally, and TSCC was the ally. She needed an ally. So because club chat was powerful back then, they still powerful now. They all got job stocks, bonds, job. I don't know if it's good. I was just Sean Bradley. And this one made me stop talking about club chat negatively because one of the members called in. We need to be buying buildings. We got the money. Let's just buy it. And when I met them club chat, they talking about stocks, and I'm seeing people portfolios more than I've never seen that amount of portfolio in my life. I said, whoa, these people got money, bank, powerful, educated, career-driven women. They just like this beat. They're lawyers, doctors, producers. They just like this is like
it's entertainment for them. That's all.
It's entertainment. It's a guilty pleasure.
Oh yeah.
And they real life career driven.
Exactly. That's why they like to sit behind the screen, and they like to pinpoint and say, well, they're really not behind the beef. So because they don't do this and that. So they have they want to have a say so an investment in it too.
I agree. Because even the sister, I got to be real with you. Even that sister, my girl, and I love her. And me and her been friends forever. She's a club chat member. I'm not gonna say her name, but she have a real job. So it's just like it was just great finding out the talented folks in the B sector. And I just want to say credit to them in the B sector. But, you know, I feel like it's great. I feel like it could be better if people just take their time and really go to the drawing board. But I just don't like it that the people doing these multiple panels. And then also, too, the subscribers do get money. I was able to get an apartment. I was able to get a car out the deal.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get a television. I was able to get a lot of resources in the B sector. Like, if you really do it well, the subscribers will reward you.
Yes, absolutely.
That is a hardcore fact. It is a very strong base of, if you do it right, the more beef you give, the more drama you give, the more financial support you will get.
Yep, that's true.
That is a known fact of that particular sector. People are missing this. Like right now, they're missing this clear, precise dialogue where you can go back and rewind and have iconic moments. It's difficult to do it because, if you notice, most people in the B sector, once they get through doing a 12-hour live, you don't see no comments. You ain't gonna go back and rewatch that. If you
right.
Live, you over it. Like it to me, I feel like it needs to be more structure.
Right.
Bring it down some. Bring maybe 2 people on there, and the host somebody got to show up on and just take control. Like, when you come into the wild, if you're not on camera, you're just gonna see me. We can still have dialogue. All this 12 people over there, no. It's like, I'm over it. Remind me of Clubhouse. All on. Well, let's bring back the room. Quiet. It's like, it's hard. Like, and from the viewer perspective, you want to hear everybody argument. And sometimes you overtalk each other, but it's just too much. Like, I watch some of the panels, it's too much. And then it was supposed to be some type of I don't know this, but Ahmed brought on 9 and some couple of people in the B sector. They wanted to put on a play, and I don't know anything about this play. But let's just say, if I were to do a play, I would get somebody with raggedy teeth, gator crop, right?
Oh, shoot.
I would get somebody living in the trailer park. I would get a down low, feminine preacher. They would play in the play. Get Jay Woods to play in the play.
Oh, my God.
I would definitely do it. Tracy, we got to get somebody that's bald-headed with a dusty cabinet that's funky and nasty. We would get somebody like that. We would definitely do it. Like, I would love to do a play. Like, let's do it. But I just think, like, it's ways to make the B sector better. But I just think, like, because of the fear of being doxxed, I understand. Your real job is not worth sacrificing for YouTube. I get it. I understand it. But I love to thank you for coming on for that in the B sector. I wish you all the success on your channel.
Thank you.
I wish all the Pizarro, I wish Brianna, I wish even the white guy, we know him as Jason.
Oh, hell no. I'm sorry.
Our show, but this is the thing about Jason. We brought Jason to the beef sector.
I know y'all did.
Because he came on our show first. We understood what Jason understood. We understood his attitude. But black folks kept bringing him into the space. We gave him a limited thing. We had another lady called the German lady.
Oh, yeah.
She came on the Wiley show, and I used to name the people.
Right, I remember that.
Called the German lady.
Right.
So she came in and so we brought the German lady on it. And so we did these type of things. Like, we had these type of attitudes and these type of people. We did it. Like, it was an iconic moment. Like, what was that? Mother Pat? We named her Mother Pat. That was her name. We call her Mother Pat. I gave her name, and I said, "These my purse holders. Where the bag? Get my bag. Don't mess up my bag." Like, I remember these names, and it's coming back to me. And you know, I love Bless Watkins. She was an old lady, desperate, right, but she wanted to be on camera. This is Bless Watkins and Wiley. And why would you need to talk like a little baby? Old lady, stink, dry, clearance rack. Ain't nobody hitting that. But she was entertained by being on YouTube. Like, she was a retired person getting her pension, her Social Security check, her man thing don't work. And all she had to do was come on camera. And it's fine. Come on camera. Right. Bless Walkers and Rico, where he cussed Bless Walkers out. And of course, old people always get sympathy because now she can play. I'm old. I'm just an old lady. I'm old enough to be your grandmother. I ain't play with that. If your old crusty self got the audacity to drag me, you can get dragged too. Okay, how old you get?
That's true.
So they would play that sympathy card, and it was another lady. Oh my God, not Miss. I think it was Mother Beverly. The VS. No, it was Struggle Voice. S. Hutchison, Struggle Voice. She got to Mother Beverly's ear, told her to complain to Adult Protective Services. This is all true. She had Mother Beverly said my name to Adult Protective Services. We never met this woman. We never did it. So VS called Adult Protective Services and put me on a three-way. I don't understand this. This lady is desperate. She want to eat my son. She want to eat my Jody, and she's desperate. And let me tell you, sir, her name is Susie. She want to eat my. She's so desperate. She's an old lady on the internet. This was all going on. Like they literally got in Mother Beverly ear, but I played it to it because I text Mother Beverly. I said, "This is Jay Wilson. You bet not show up. Blah 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 blah. And this is Jay Wilson." so she told Jay Wilson, and Jay Wilson said, "If you use my number and text her, I'm calling the police." So they will go to the police, file fraudulent police reports. And it's just like, it was crazy. This was the B sector. Like, it used to be a hoop,
oh my God.
I tell you. Okay?
No, I miss the old beef sector. I wish it would go back to it. Except for the doxing part, but I like the beef sector as a whole, in general. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was entertaining. And we used to do so many video hours review. It was so much content. I can go back and
the skits.
Yeah, good.
Where is Marquita?
The Marquita Costa-Diva. That character was. I brought that character right before F Bab did the church, and I really echoed into Marquita the Cross-Eyed Diva.
Right.
And I'm bringing her back, but I just did that because of Mother. She flopped at RuPaul, flopped and didn't make it. Got canceled out the first round. And so I developed this character, right? Mm-hmm. And for fun, it just took off because everybody loved Marquita Cross-Eyed Diva. She was developed in the B sector. And so we had, it was so fun because we dragged people and they was dragging Marquita the Cross-Eyed Diva. And it was fun. Like, those were the moments. Like, the skits was so funny. And it was just, I'm telling you, those was like the glory days of the B sector. And the B sector I would still believe it because now the celebrity gossip folks, because I came in and I shifted and I started beefing with the YouTubers. So I brought the B sector to this sector. And now this sector, they're on camera. Armand is on camera.
Right.
Jason Lee is on camera. You have other folks, what was it? Storm Monroe and that lady, Donna Ross wig, and that wig she got on now, she just bald headed. I guess so, and we call her Fish. So now in this sector, the reason why the YouTubers can't stand me because they not on the thumbnail, they showing themselves, and I go at it. When that lady, that down low beard woman, Donna Ross wig, when she put on that new wig and you see that big old bald spot, like, you know how when somebody just bald and they just put some hair on it and then they cover the baldness, still, and then she called into the Wiley show because I come from the B sector and I knew it's a weakness and I know women are emotional. So I tap into them, Fish, I'm not no fish. Now she's housing no fish. Storm Monroe, he had a conference. Like, she, on her birthday, she triggered.
Wow.
This is light work. Because I triggered grown people way older than me. It ain't hard triggering a woman with a Donna Ross wig. And so folks was like, ooh, that look like Donna Ross wig and Donna Ross. And I put that on Fish. I'm not no fish. And then her Storm, them rosy cheeks, and you don't smell like no fish. And me, I come in the chat peaceful. Because you know when you go in people's chat, they can block you. So you never be evil in the chat. You be nice. Hi. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. And he go down the Ross with, why are you here? He's so, hey, oh, don't worry about it. It's so good. God is so good. Blah, blah, blah. I'm in that peaceful.
Oh my God. So
they can always block you. So you never chat being ruthless. Just be totally different.
Right.
Get in here trying to get some content with that. And I know I'm gonna get dragged. As soon as I leave, I'm gonna come right back fish because she came on the show. And so this is what we do. I can't, it's hard to be nice when you in the B sector. There is no niceness in the B sector.
Right.
So let's be clear. Okay, y'all brought it up with the QB at the gentleman's panel. So I was in my feelings. And one thing that you do to Wiley, when you don't let him come to the table, F that. I'm like that black chick on Save the Laugh Down. Let me go F this up. You know, when she went to the dance floor, back into it. She went in there, she start, that's me. If you don't invite me to the party, F it. I'll invite myself. That's so me. I want to be on the gentleman's panel so bad. And so QB brought me on the gentleman's panel, and most of the people on the panel was pissed. I'm letting them. They couldn't stand it. Jay Wilson couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand the teacher that was screwing. That was making. He was doing something with the students and saying different type of stuff. But you know, he got caught in a news report. He got doxxed, and we went at it on that.
I know you're talking about. I forgot his name. Okay.
Yeah. So we went at it because he got doxxed too, and the teachers because he lost his job because he did something with the kids. Some he did, and he lost his job. Anyway,
right. I know who you talking about.
Right. So L Teddy, because I said that L Teddy was sleeping with Jay Wilson daddy. So wait a minute. So we went at it. This was the B sector. And the beauty of I didn't write none of my joke was on my head that day.
You said that.
That's what I said. So and so I'm on the panel, on the gentleman's panel. James always said he never wanted me on the panel with him. I was on it, he was furious, upset. I'm destroying it. I wanted to destroy that. I made it my business to destroy that gentleman's panel. I called it boring, weak, boring. I dragged King. Everybody was getting it. They couldn't handle the smoke. Now, mind you, it's about 5, 6 of them on that panel. It's one Wiley. I'm going at it. I would drag that gentleman because they tried their best to be peaceful. I dragged F that. And so then I came out the QB because on Patreon back in the day, I screwed QB husband and I screwed QB and QB husband gave me something. I put a whole storyline.
Oh, not Mr. Tin Can. Oh,
and I left it on the Patreon. And so one of the members, finally, they saw the Patreon and sent it to QB. And so I go on Jay Wilson's show. Yeah, me and QB had a relationship. His husband gave me something. It was curable and blah, blah, blah. I'm on Jay Wilson's panel. And so QB come on. I never met you. I never met you like that. And you been hold on, QB. Don't mess up my bag. Don't mess up my bag. He acted crazy. And I'm just calm, cool, collected. I said, I'm destroying this. You baby, hold on, QB, hold on. Let me mute you, son, baby. And then Jay Wilson, QB got in the whole beef. Baby, you got to be emotional in it. He said, man, what he wrote. I was going at it and going at QB. He couldn't.
Oh my God.
This was real beef because I knew, because I watch a lot of wrestling, you have to study your opponent.
Right.
And QB did meet. It is a picture. We met. Now, can I add some sauce to it? Absolutely. Your job is to be entertained. You don't care nothing about it. If it's entertaining, so what? So that's what happened with QB because we had a relationship. I know we come from the same streets. He's a very attractive guy, husband gone to be with the Lord. Or I don't know if he's going to be with the Lord according to the Bible. He in hell. But we talked about it. We had a beef. And so Jay Wilson was upset because Jay Wilson was trying to throw low blows at me. He would throw the nice, nasty shots. But I'm going to let you throw it, but I'm going to come for QB and comfort it. And I knew it. And we derailed the whole entire show. And I act like I didn't know what was going on because Jay Wilson didn't know I had a secret Patreon. He didn't know it. He wasn't aware of it. And he just took the bait, and I act innocent, and that whole gentleman panel, poof, went away.
Because I gotta find that.
Yes.
I gotta find that. I know that was hilarious.
Jack was there. I'm just telling you, because, you know, Jay Wilson, on his original page, it went away because he got,
that's right.
They got in the nude, and he lost the channel because they didn't know that. See, I never focused on StreamYard. I was a call-in guy. It wasn't a free conference call. You just call one number, you on the air.
Right.
So what they did, I knew that people was taking off their clothes. They were doing that. So you never do that in the beef side. I don't even do it now. Without, unless I know you'd be vetted, because people started doing it and they took his entire channel. And he didn't know that when they do it, you got to hurry up and delete it, private it, edit it out, and other. He didn't know he kept it on there, and it gave the trolls enough time to take him down. And so he lost that original Jay Wilson page. He would have been at, that was the page where he was talking about Kaya, T.S. Madison, because he came into the game talking about T.S. Madison and Kaya.
Right.
And so that was that moment. His original page is nowhere near to what he's doing now. His original page was much greater, more engagement. It was popping. It was really, really popping, but they set him up. So, but yeah, man, like that's what happened. Like I had a good time in there in the sector. Like I had some very iconic moments in the sector. VS and I, when I interviewed Raheem, right? That R&B artist, I had connections, still got connections in music, and many people didn't know. But I called VS and said, VS, you could be on the show. Now, originally I wanted VS to do the show alone, but I said, no, I'm gonna do it because this is my connect. And so I allowed her on the show, and it was beautiful because people didn't know. I coming in with some my online radio connections. I brought them to the beef sector. Like I interviewed some artists y'all never heard of, but I still had those connections. So I was just different, and I was different. But when that beef sector, when the Gentleman's Pound went away, and Mess Express went away, is nobody ever picked up that baton. And then that's when I started doing Two Man and Lady. I brought Storm Monroe.
Right.
7 stars.
7 stars, yeah.
And we did that, and it was iconic because I
love that show.
At that time, Storm was coming up in the game, and we brought him on with 7 stars. Many people didn't really see 7 stars like in that type of light, that it was a new show, even though we were losing in the ratings sometimes because, we weren't focused on the beef. I didn't care. I just was, because we had a celebrity on our show. We had a comedian with the Monique beef. And so we had all those moments on Two Man and Lady. And it's like, and then you can go back and watch it. That's something part of my resume. A lot of people had good ideas, but they deleted their material. We didn't. Remember VS scared Trey off of YouTube when she found out his old teacher? Yes. And that Trey person came on Armand's show, and he had allegations that her husband was gay, that Tasha K husband was gay or whatever, that she used CPN. And so he came into the B sector, and they found his personal information. And he deleted everything on it. And I still have recordings with me and Trey on the show together. Because again, I understand where you're coming from, because Trey is an example of how you can get scared off of YouTube. They found his personal information. But it wasn't hard. He was a big guy, no neck. It ain't hard to find him. What hard?
So silly.
So they found him. And he was very annoying. He didn't know what he was talking about. And he was a flip-flopper. But Storm interviewed him with Trey. And he got interviewed over there on Armand's show. And this one, Storm and Armand was beefing. See, I knew the beef and the celebrity part and the beef. I will go in and out. So they interviewed Trey on Storm's show. Then Tasha come on the show and said, did Candace set this up? You know what? Candace sent me the information. Candace, daytime, tea time. And Storm was like, the Christian Candace, she set it up. She set this all up. And you know what? I'm gonna sue her. She shouldn't have said. They was trash. They wanted to destroy Candace, and that's why I think why she left, because she got tired of the beef. They came at Candace.
Yeah,
they destroyed her because they knew that she was emotional. She's not about that life. She's a type of a woman about her business, but they came at her hard. And then Tasha said, yeah, I seen her walking that dog. That house is filthy. I could have said something when she was out there walking. And like, she went at Candace hard, and she ran her off the internet. Now, whatever it is, but she got to go to her husband making money or whatever, but she got ran off the internet because they came at her hard.
Yeah.
They came at Candace hard, but I remember that because a lot of the B sector spirit spilled into the celebrity gossip spirit, because that's when Tasha K was the VS of the celebrity gossip sector, and then boom, and I was a part of that as well. So it was some good moments. It was some good moments. And the thing about Candace, and this is true, I would say this beginning, thank you. She should have stayed off camera.
Well,
When
Candace,
Candace
yeah.
came on camera, she couldn't do it. First of all, she didn't have the looks. She was insecure. And Armand Wiggins dragged that lady. Said, I like you with the cartoon. You ain't got it. He dragged her.
Oh
Now,
wow,
they friends now, but he dragged that woman because she wasn't meant to be on camera. She wasn't meant, because she came in the game, got her highest views doing voiceovers, but she wanted to be a look on her brand. And I think it could have worked for her, but you got to give it time, because people know you as a thumbnail. Like, if I come out trying to be like the impressive and do voiceovers, it would take time for me to develop that.
Okay, Wiley, so I have a question. So
Go
I guess so. So do you think that it could only apply to some with the avatars? Because like I guess in the B sector, because I have to give Zara credit because it works for her.
It
Because
works
a
for her,
lot of
yeah.
people sees not to care that she's an
Right.
avatar.
Some people don't care. Some people just got it like that.
Right.
Some people just got it, but that's not apply for everybody. It's like it works for her.
Right.
It worked for her. Like, that's in the game, and then the culture is different. You do it enough, people will just adapt to the shift. If I would try to do that, I won't receive it because they're used to seeing me. So I just think that when it comes to like Candace, it's different because they did not see her on camera. You got your clicks. If you like, if Impressive were to come out and come on video, her views will drop. It's a different vibe.
Yeah.
Because we know you by voiceovers. When you do voiceovers, you have a script. You pretty much, it is a celebrity likeness, and you just got your voice over the video.
Right.
But if she try to come out and do what we do, her views will be way low. It will be way low because the public is not there for that. The public is not there for it. And you also got to have the voice for that. And you got to see if it'll work or not work. You got to see. But for me, I like long form content. I like to produce. I like to give ideas. I like to give suggestions. I like to do that. I'm always a guy like that. I love to, because I know the money is in the producer. The money is the people financing the project. Let's be clear. They got the money, not the host. Like, because the host could be replaced, but the people behind the scenes you don't see, they got careers been there 20, 30, 40 years that put the View together with Barbara White. Like, he lived until he died. So, they got the wealth. And so that's something that is the money is at. But let's be clear. I think the beef sector can do it. I think that the OGs got to continue to do what worked. And a lot of them are lazy. I mean, I don't see F Bab. And then again, I left the beef sector. So I don't see. I remember somebody called me that was a beef sector subscriber. And they said, Wiley, I stopped viewing you because you're not in the beef sector anymore. And I knew you stopped being in the beef sector when you stopped coming in my algorithm down my timeline. I knew and I knew I officially was out of the beef sector when I tuned into my homepage and don't see nothing concerning beef. It was all people that's doing celebrity gossip. It's the Armands, the Lovely T's, the Tasha K's. It was no more Jay Wilson, F Bab, Sean. At the time, they were all down my timeline. I have not seen, it's been over going on 3 years since I've seen anything in the beef sector.
That's a good thing because you're elevating up. That's what we do.
I was a success story in the beef sector, right? One of the many people tried. Jay Wilson tried. He tried to do it. 3 folks was in there watching. They abandoned him because if he would have called me, I would have schooled him and say, player, you're going to take a hit, but just take it and you got to start all over to introduce that. But because it didn't take me that long, because my people were used to me talking about celebrities and beef sector. So I still was able to grab some of that support. And then I just start, Armand helped, that beef helped to get Tasha K, her appearances helped. So it helped me to get, and then also I had the Storm and Roll. So it helped me. And then I had to stop doing beef and celebrity. I just focused on that. And I was authentic in that. And I stayed into it. And then poof. Now we are here today. And now we're almost at 33,000 subscribers. But I would have never gotten there if I would have stayed in the beef sector, because the beef sector is a very limited platform.
Right.
It's a secret society. It's more like the ballroom scene of blogging. You got to be in the sector to know who we talking about. But if you outside, lost. So I started to say, if I want more recognition, I need to start talking about more popular celebrities in order for me to get the recognition. But I do, every once in a while, I come back like today and talk about it, because I'm good at telling a story, and I'm good telling the beat because it's still entertaining. It's just like, unfortunately, a lot of these characters, you can't go back to the video because they deleted them. Brianna still got her video up when I was getting dragged on there. Her stuff on there, but that Jay Wilson material stuff gone. The gentleman panel stuff gone. It's just all gone, and it's so sad. But that's something it's in my mind. I can always talk about it. And that made you want to do it because you were a fan of it, and you say, "Hey, I want to be on the creative side." I think that's great.
Yeah, it was really fun back then, and I really miss the dynamic. It's like I said, and you like a little celebrity in the B sector, so the rarity when you do drop out, people do say, they're like, "Oh wow, there's Wiley."
Yeah,
and it's funny because the people do try to get your attention, and I don't know if you ignore him or not, but when you don't reply, it's funny because some people get upset.
I don't reply because I don't want it about me. I don't on purpose. I see it all. Because I understand creators doesn't like when another creator come in the chat and dominate. I told it and I go away. Because I've been in this, I'm a veteran in this game. I've learned that even in some T channels. You go in their chat, oh, Wiley, you get blocked. Because they people paying attention to you. Storm and Road blocked my whole name. Wow. So they couldn't even type in Wiley. It's that jealousy active. So when I go in there, had the mind for I don't take over. Hey, and I'm gone. Poof, gone. I ain't hitting the link. Gone, poof, because I want you to yearn. I want you, I don't want to be overrated. Like when I come, it's special. Like if me and VS were to do a show, it's special. That's must see TV. Right. And you got the old folks that used to watch the beach have been gone will come back to view that because they remember those days.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, they say I stopped watching F Bab because the news was all about her. She kept giggling. Yeah. Oh, girl. I'm so beautiful, girl. Like she stopped, but when Tracy did the news, even though she misspelled even though I would say she misspelled or she couldn't read her notes, and then Wiley, are you okay? Did you take your medicine, Wiley? Don't shake your medicine, because I had to my storyline. I stayed in character. Everybody knew I had bipolar, library, medicine, and so one day. I got my medicine. I got my medication. I started shaking the medication bottles. Tracy go live. He started shaking his medicine. Like it was so great. And people, they sympathized with Wiley. And the reason why they F with me, because I showed the world so you couldn't expose me. I shared it. Right. I shared it when I was in the hospital. I shared it when I needed my medication. Brianna was pissed because I was waiting to get seen by the psychiatrists and the doctors and stuff. So I shared that moment with the B sector. I did. So I just feel like, and those were those days. Like I brought the camera. I was my own reality show. But I feel like when it came to Tracy, yes, I agree. Beginning, she allowed F Bab to take off her game. Tracy should have stayed on camera, stayed in front of that child in the cabinet, stayed doing the news.
Yeah, I agree.
That helped the B sector. We needed people to watch it. And then F Bab did better. She was a different perspective. She would watch the content. She would deliver the news. But then she got into a beef with Mother about herself.
Oh, yeah.
About her daughter. And it just got lost. It was like, dang, who's going to deliver the news? The reason why I don't want to do the news, because I'm not about to watch no 8-12 hour video, all these creators No, I'm not gonna do it. But I like Tracy doing it, and I said, you made it when Tracy said, "Hey y'all, I was minding my business and y'all too." Yeah. So when I made the news segment, of 5A, when I made the news, and then some people didn't even want to put me in there, was jealous. Mother never put me in the news. He was jealous. So you understood that. Like they tried. I remember they tried to blackball me, couldn't say it, but I was just too talented. You had to say it. You had to talk about Wiley. Like, right. And Jay Wilson, every time I come in the B sector, why you don't want to bring on the show? You must be just, if you want Wiley on your show, go. He got his own show. He in the so that he couldn't stand that I still have a strong support system. He can't stand that. Because we worked hard for it. I was on the city. You gotta understand. If people saw me on the bus, they saw me walking. They saw me on the train. They knew when the connection was gonna go out, and then it would come back on. They seen it all. They seen it all. So it's like people saw that beginning stages of Wiley trying to come in the game. I never would have thought I had a green screen. Couldn't afford it. It was just me and a cell phone. That was it. It was me and a phone. It was an Android Metro PCS.
Oh, and wow.
I came up on my Metro PCS, and I had a phone line, and I had a Bluetooth speaker. Oh, and I would plug that Bluetooth speaker up with my microphone, and I would have a phone line through the Bluetooth, and the phone will be my camera. And yeah, and now look at YouTube now. Now they have it where you could be vertical and do on YouTube. But we were doing that way back then when YouTube Ben had that where you can go live on YouTube. But now it's a little different now. You can monetize it on that instead of going to your phone, putting your monetization on. But yeah, that's what we did back in the day. And then Tasha K, I remember the first time she came on the show. I remember all of that. Okay? I'll be sitting on the floor in the dark. I'll be on the air mattress. I'll be on the couch. Like I was in the kitchen. Whatever it was, I did the type of content. I did not have the resources. I was literally doing the best. I just had my voice, and I did it. And I went live. I talked about it, and it was a great experience. I will never forget that experience. That's good. You got to grow up at some point. Yeah, it was a great experience. Yeah. It was a good experience, and I love the people. I love talking to you, sister. I love the fun. It was fun. It was great. I loved it. And I learned some great strategies in the B sector that I apply to this day because I went through it. Like, it's hard to get under my skin because most of the stuff these creators think they know about me, I've already been through it through the B sector. And it was worse than the B sector. It was gutful. So, I went through it. They said, remember the sleepover with Tasha K and Lovely T, and they were fighting. Yes. And it was that whole panel. Like
Linus and Judah on it.
Yes. The B sector, our skills started to go into the celebrity gossip sector. It did. And to this day, like right now, it's really bad because when Armand got in a scuffle with Donat, and that reminded me of VS and whatever her name was, Charisse. When I got it, it reminded me of that moment because I've seen it before. It was just different. But it's a very teachable moment, though. It was fun, and that's why the beef stuff has spilled over in the celebrity gossip space, and it goes more viral because these people are more bigger. Like if I get in the scuffle with Armand, it goes viral. It spills over to the beef search. It spills over to celebrity gossip because you're dealing with two problematic, controversial Black men.
Right.
So the reason why the Donat and Armand didn't go as far as he hoped. Because you're not on Armand Wiggins' level. You ain't got enough juice. But if Wiley and Armand would have gotten in that scuffle, us in the same room, it would make noise. But if us get into a scuffle, it will go viral.
Yeah.
Because the beef is so strong that it will go. Like, you can really tell that beef will go so hard. But I would never do that to Armand Wiggins because, number one, I don't care that much to put my hands on him. I would love to put hands on his boyfriend, but not in no type of violent way.
Oh my gosh.
So, it'll be okay. So, man, Pops can definitely pop me some popcorn and something else. Okay. All right. All right. I'll be a beta. Come to bread basket. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I was getting kind of turned on. Man, spread it wide. Beat. Okay.
Where my fan? Where my fan?
I'm just being honest. Because I was never attracted to Armand. Still not attracted to him. He's a great guy, or whatever the case may be. I'm not attracted to him. But his boyfriend, okay. So if I ever come to California, I do have some strategies and some plans. I will never tell y'all.
You stupid.
Hey, what would stop me from being in the same place as him? I'm not gonna give y'all my strategies, but nevertheless, I thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me. Yeah,
bring it, like doing a little reunion. Like I said, I wish you the best in the beauty sector.
Thank you.
I'm trying to see like who all on that particular sector. It was one guy, I forgot his name. He would interview like the people in the beauty sector. I think he kind of went away because he invited me. He said, "Hey Wiley, you in the beauty sector?" And I would call him like the Gail King. He would bring creators on. He was on camera, very attractive guy. And he tried to bring me on. He brought me on. And he was trying to find Brian Radcliffe, couldn't find him. He deleted his social media. That was the first guy to put his sausages in my bread basket. And he deleted his social media because that's when I knew how big I became because I said his name and people started messaging him and he deleted his social media. Because I guess he went back in the closet. He's trying to go back in the closet, trying to be this authentic preacher. But I remember that sausage inside of me. I can still remember. I can still get your scent in your six pack. You being overseas, and I met you on Facebook. I will never forget that. And his name was Brian Radcliffe, and I know his government name. I know he go by Simba now, but Brian Radcliffe was my first that went in my bread basket. And that's when I wanted to be a beta.
Oh my God.
So I was very submissive to him. On my knees, on my back, on my side. I was a beta. I really was.
TMI.
So I'm just telling you, wow, what? And so I was never this alpha. I'm an alpha man now. I'm not a beta. But yeah, I was definitely did it. And his name was Brian Radcliffe. And he was, and what made me upset about Brian Radcliffe, is that I thought he was just a top. And then once Shasha and people was like, he ain't no top girl. He got his back blown. And I was hurt. I cried.
Wow.
Because, and then once, and see, this is what I understood the difference between love and lust. And I knew it was lust. Because once I got, and this is why young folks, I see why they get preyed upon with older guys. Because we don't know. So once I had life experiences and went out there and I went back, I'm like, wait a minute, ma. Ding. Like, it's like, he wasn't this type. I woke up and I'm like, he started getting the little beer belly. The fantasy was gone because he was attractive. He was in the military. He lost everything. He was homeless. He was living in empty houses and stuff, like houses. And it lost me. But back in the day when I was in the quad, he was in the military. He drove up with that car. He was in the military. And it was lustful. So I was lust. And I called it love, but it was straight down lust. Didn't care him screwing other guys in front of me. I didn't care. I screwed his daddy, not his biological daddy, but his father. I screwed him because I thought it was his biological daddy, but in the gay community, they call people their daddy. Screwed him. He was a pastor. I smelled the stench of his wife. So I've done some things. And I was like 18, 19, 20 years old. And so I've had those experiences. So once I've got as an entertainer, I would say these people's names. And it's hard for me not to say the names. Like I said, Sharman, Blake Marlowe, the one that assaulted my sister, violated her. That man went and changed his name to S.O. Blake Marlowe.
Oh, wow.
Private his page because he's a sheriff in Virginia. He violated my sister. He violated another sister as well, Sister Boot daughter. He violated these two young innocent teenagers and violated them. My sister told me, I was shocked. Because I wanted him to violate me. Like, why you want that? You kind of had all this, but
oh my gosh, Wiley.
Anyway, I'm honestly because
Oh,
I was
Lord.
attracted to Sherman Blake Marlon. I was attracted to him.
Uh-huh.
But when my sister told me that she was violated by Sherman Blake Marlowe, aka S.O. Blake Marlowe, she told me and it shocked me. And when that happened to me, when she said it, this is why when I go and visit my family, I don't bring no friends. I don't trust people around I don't trust them.
Right.
Because he came in and while we was having sleepovers, he was messing with my sister. And I didn't have an inkling, a clue, but I knew he was on the down. And I got to be careful how I say this because they're going to try to tie in him being on a download to Fun with Truth. No, there's no correlation with that.
Right.
It's just he's a sick person.
Right.
But I knew he was very secretive because when we went to the basement on 65th and Justine, we went to the basement of my grandmother's house. And he told me to pull down my garments. And I was on brick ready because I thought, is this the moment? And he started, and then boom, 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 we messed around. And then we never went that far because at that time, I think he was afraid of doing it because he didn't want me to put it out and tell my uncle. But I knew he was attracted to me. But I did not know that he was violating those young girls. I didn't know that at all. And so once I got the information, it destroyed me mentally. I couldn't. Oh my God! And I wanted some justice, and I was going at it. And so I got pushed out of Chicago, and then I went on the internet. This was before the beef sector. I posted information, put them on the website. I posted the Kojic Church. I posted all it. I posted everywhere. Post his name, and then he got divorced because people would say, "I don't know. I don't have no control of this." But they said, "Wiley, you destroyed that man's marriage." I said, "No, I didn't. I told the truth, and I was dropping tea." Right. I couldn't go to his wedding because people feared that if I go to his wedding, you're gonna tell that Precious, aka Precious Marlowe, and that was her married name. They divorced now. That you're gonna tell this woman that this man is on the down low, so you can't come to the wedding. But I was going to tell her. I was going to tell her at his mother's funeral, but I said that ain't the time to tell her because I knew he was living this double life. It hunted me, and his grandmother, she came to me and she pulled me to the candy store. Is Sherman gay? I said, and I lied for him. I said, no, and I called him, and I regretted not telling her because her life will never be the same. She married a down low man that violated little girls. Wow. She got into a mess because she didn't know he left him. I gotta say this, sisters. Be careful marrying a man that leaves their hometown. I will say this. Before you marry him, you need to see why he left his hometown. If he was born in Chicago, he moved to Virginia. Before you say I do, I got to do some research. Why you leave Chicago or why you leave Georgia? Why did you leave? I need to know. What are you running from?
Good question.
That's a red flag there when you're trying to run for. It's something there, and she did not do her research. And by the time she found out, it was too late. And then he cheated on her with a Latino woman, got her pregnant while he was still married to Precious.
Wow.
And told his sisters, don't tell nobody on Facebook that I'm expecting a child. And he dumped her, divorced her, hurried up, married a new wife to show that he ain't committing no sin.
Oh my gosh.
So, and then his wife, he private that page because now Wiley is different. Wiley is bigger now. I'm not just talking to two people no more. I'm talking to the world. And I say names because why should I hide a whole pedo? Why should we hide that?
Exactly.
I agree. Why should that be hidden? Why should I not say name? And if I'm saying if this is wrong, why I'm not getting sued? You can't. Because you got two victims that's alive, two young, promiscuous young women. The reason why they're promiscuous to this day is, I would say, because they was introduced to it at an early age when they was young girls. That's why Kaya slobbing on some blah, blah, blah. Her mother, and see, I got to say this. They hated my sister. She felt like my sister was a bad influence for her daughter. So she didn't want my sister around her because my sister got pregnant with her first daughter. She didn't want her around Kaya. She thought Kaya a student, whatever. Until one day, Sister Boo came home. She saw her daughter on her knees with a sausage in her mouth. And her mother witnessed it. So, and I'm glad she did sing that to stop judging my sister. Because my sister couldn't force your daughter. Your daughter is doing it on her brothers were screwing women in the church and stuff like that. So let's not blame everybody even my grandmother stood up against my sister. And they all came again. And I stood up to my grandmother. This before she had her stroke. I said, you got pregnant with your oldest son, Bishop Cartwright, when you were 13 years old. You are in no more position to call out my sister. At least she waited a little older. You did it at 13. So you should have. Yes, you claim that you have the Holy Ghost right now, but you didn't always have that Holy Ghost.
That's true.
And she shut up and she didn't say a word. And I have to stand up for them because church folks will tag team up on you, but they forget.
Yeah.
You had a past too.
Right. Preach it.
And I felt like they was tagged, and it destroyed me mentally. I had all these forces. I had to leave Chicago. It was hell. I went through hell because I was picking up something that I couldn't win. It was a system of cover-ups of our word. People was getting our word. They were covering it up. And I tried to expose it and got ran out of town. Yes, I did. I need to get ran because I wanted to survive. Somebody was going to get hurt.
Right.
So God whooshed me to Texas. And then went to Texas, got my worked on it, went back to Chicago, and is still dealing with the problems and the hatred of that. And so when I go back home, my sister always said, my daughters ain't going to church. Your God allowed Sherman to violate me.
Oh, wow.
So the hurt is still there. My daughters ain't going to no church. My grandma's in the wheelchair in the kitchen. Yo, God, she said, allow Sherman to violate me. And then my sister, and I'm going to say it because I want to drop the spirit of this. My sister said something else. And and Uncle Freddie violated me too, Grandmother, and I told you. And you know what you told me? He was on the wrong medication. I said, he ain't taking his medicine.
Wow.
So when I look at what my grandmother is going through, I said, my grandmother held a lot. She did a lot of evil, and she got to get that paid back.
Right.
So, but still, I'm hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
And see, Marquise, don't say nothing. Yeah, Marquise. That's why he quiet. I was quiet because I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say it because the Bible said the truth shall make you free. Now, for my sister and others and myself, we all got to go to some therapy because this is effed up.
Yeah.
We got to go through some therapy. But when she said that to me and in the kitchen and said that, I understand why my grandmother is going through what she's going through. Doesn't make it right? No. But still, mercy of God will still allow me to take care of my grandmother, knowing half of the mess she's going with is because of what she did.
Yeah.
But when you love somebody and you say you love God, you would say, you know what? I'm still going to do this.
Yeah.
It's because the love is there. Because this is a crisis and I will do it. But it's people that is paying my grandmother back for when she was a young woman, and they paying her back now. And while she's sick, they paying her back. They won't call. They don't answer. They'll come visit. Her daughter hung up the phone. Don't care. Everything they held against my grandmother, they letting her have it in her sickly days. I've seen it.
Wow.
Because people will look, how could you do your grandmother like that? Well, grandmother wasn't always grandmother. She was young. She was a young woman.
Yeah.
And because y'all did not talk it out when you was healthy, now you getting it paid back. So when people say, oh, it's a lot of men getting mistreated in nursing home, it's some women get mistreated too. Because people in families don't, in my family in particular, we talk about each other, at each other, and not to each other.
Yeah.
And everybody is in their cliques, and it's sad, and grandmother got to suffer. And it's painful. It's some stuff I won't share yet, but I will share. It's a good little story. I'm going to make a coin out of it. But I see it in my heart.
Wow.
And I understand why God allowed me to flee from Chicago to Dallas.
Wow.
You got to go back Now, this same brother, let me tell you how God worked. That you called out, judge said he was on drugs, that he got age. You know, they never say the real, they say age.
Right.
They did all this. Guess who coming back with scrubs, gloves, and helping? Brother Wiley.
That's right.
So all the stuff that was said about Brother Wiley, you got to see Brother Wiley. And then my uncle saw me. How did you get so fat? But I'm just doing what I'm doing because I got to do this because I love my grandmother. My relationship with my grandmother is totally different than everybody else's relationship. She was there for me when I needed her. I needed somebody to iron my clothes, feed me. So I'm giving her that back.
Right.
And I couldn't rest knowing my grandmother was suffering. She did suffer. I mean,
wow.
she was suffering. But the Bible said you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
It'll hit you maybe in your youth. It'll hit you somewhere in life. And the thing about it is, it hit you. And when my grandmother's screaming and saying different stuff, she's like, oh, man. Oh, man, don't get old. Oh, man, this is too much. Oh, this is too much. Like, she going through a lot.
Wow.
And then she would say, I don't know why my children don't come and see me. Maybe I don't know why they won't, and it's hurtful. But it's a very complex situation because grandmother, she literally did some things to me as well because she allowed them to do an order of protection. She did that and pushed me out, and I had to go. I was tossed out on the street.
Wow.
All them people that teamed up to toss out on the street, they rarely come visit and help and do the work. They ain't gonna change nothing. And we come back and do all that stuff. And all the people that say stuff, now they gotta say, one thing we said about Marquise, he know how to change. He know how to change wounds. He know how to change this. He got the skill set. I didn't know that when I get all this certification and all that stuff that I would have to use it for my own family member. Never thought about it.
So you forgave them.
Right. I forgave them.
Right.
I did it for them. I had to forgive my family because it was holding me back.
Right.
I had to forgive them. And I forgive them. And my grandmother forgive. I think she apologized. The way of her apology as much as I get it. That's it. But it's still problems. But I love them. But I understand why people leave their family and say, I love you from afar. I get it because I'm a
right.
People say, oh, you don't hardly come in. I have to love you from afar. I know in order for us to keep the little piece of love we got, I could be here for a couple of maybe a month, but I got to leave. I can't be here forever because it is so toxic.
Gotcha.
It's so toxic. You talking about childhood trauma. And all the way. And that's why I'm blessed enough to go work and go here, work, go here, because I'm still going to help. But I know long-term, being that long-term, can't do it. It's too much toxic energy. And I know me, I don't want to get triggered. Oh, we're going to have trouble. So I go and I get on the plane and I go there and the forgiveness is for me. It's not for them. It's for
That's
me.
right. It's for
I had to forgive my mother. I had to forgive my mother because one of my subscribers, this is why I love YouTube, she said, Wiley, your mother, you're judging your mother, but not looking at her as a woman. Your mother was young. She had her struggles. She had her problems. She had children. She had this. You don't know the entire story. You think you know, and blah, blah, blah. And then once she started saying that, I said, okay, I forgive my mom. She gonna drink. She gonna do that. I don't agree with it, but I make a move. So now when I come there, when it's getting a lot of drama, I know how to disappear because I can't change a 50-some-year-old woman.
Right.
I can't change 80-some-year-old woman. Only power that I can change is me.
Right. That's absolutely.
It. I can't change them. I tried and I got destroyed. Almost destroyed myself. Because when you try to play God and change people, you're going to lose. You can't do it. Turn it over to Jesus and let the Lord handle.
That's right.
So,
If
but
it.
I tried to change it and lost my mind and fled after flee to Texas. And so now when I go back, I have a different mindset. I go there,
Right.
help, do the best I can do, and go. But it is sad. I wish and pray that folks will stop holding grudges because it will destroy you.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
Them grudges and beefs and you holding on, it will destroy you. My uncle and I have similar stories because he wants to know who his father is. I want to know who my father is. Both, when he came to address my grandmother about who his father is, my grandmother started changing the subject. My mother do the same thing, mother like daughter. And I remember I sat down with my grandmother about this, I believe last year. I said, grandmother, did you tell uncle about his father that he wanted you to move to Texas and you refused? Did you tell? No, I didn't. But did you tell him that his father will call and my grandfather Willie would be on the phone? He would hang up. Did you tell him that you didn't want to have no problem with your new husband? No. I said, you owe that to your son to tell him. You got to tell him. You got to communicate that. I don't care. My uncle is in his 60s. He's still holding on to that abandonment and he's blaming you.
Wow.
So you have to tell him while you alive to let him be free and don't change the subject. Address the issue. You don't want to address because it's painful. It make you look in a bad light. But then also, y'all got to communicate that. I had to go through that with my mother, but I have to wait till she's ready to talk about it. Maybe when she's drunk, maybe again when she's drunk a little bit, she'll start telling, and then she'll shut down, ain't gonna say a word, and forget what she said. Mm-hmm. So you have to understand it. But I understand that your parents' decisions can, in some cases, affect the child.
Right.
One of the decisions, if you don't know who your baby daddy is, it will, in some cases, affect your son. So, because it's a pain. It's a pain that you grieving for somebody you didn't know. It's like a grief. It's like you're missing your arm or your leg. It's like you're missing something. And it's a pain that only a fatherless person or will understand. Like when Franklin did that documentary about finding who his father was, his mother was in denial, I cried because I saw some similarity. I cried.
Wow.
I cried like a baby. I had to end that live that I did. And if I would have kept out of it, boo-hooing, because it touched on a wound that ain't healed.
Wow.
When I saw that documentary, I said it ain't healed. It's painful.
Well, that is deep.
It's like you want to know, everybody want to know who their father is. Everybody want to know who their mother is. Who don't want to know? You want to know.
That's true.
Listen, you want to know, and it bothers you. And so when I saw that documentary, it reminded when my mother said, well, this is your father. He's on the birth certificate, blah, 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 blah. And because of technology, in my case, find out that man was never your father. It's totally different. So, but I say this, the reason why I try not to continue that cycle of the son hating their mother, I don't want to repeat that of like my grandmother, her children, some of them don't like her. They mistreating her because of what they did to them in their childhood. I want to break that generation, no curse. I want to break that by communicating. But it is challenging when you're trying to communicate with a person that is that's addicted to alcohol. It's very challenging. It's very challenging when you are sober, you shut down. But then when you got liquor, you want to sing to the rooftop. And you don't remember what you said, or you act like you don't remember. So it's difficult. It is a challenge. It's a challenge that it's like, oh, it's a challenge. But I just thank God that I was able to come to Texas, go back to Illinois, and be out of more of strength. But I understand every time I go to Chicago, I say to myself, you know, Wiley, you went through it. You can get through it. I got to get some more counseling about this. I got to work because it's still some wound. Every time I go to Chicago, I step there, pain. I get reminded of pain. When I'm in Dallas, kind of forget about it because it's not. But when I see it, I see the pain.
Right. It's good that you recognize it, though.
I recognize the triggers. I understand the
Yeah.
trigger. I can feel the tension. I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And I go back because the love is there. And I do the best I can because I love my grandmother. I love my mother. I love my siblings. But I see why people say, Wiley, why are you so distant? I see why. In order to keep my sanity, I have to love you from afar.
Right.
Because
Right.
you're not willing to make that change. You're not willing to do the work. And many of my family members need to be in a psychiatric treatment center right now. They need to do that. They will show drink themselves, smoke themselves, just drink. That's their therapy. And it's destructive therapy because it ain't adding nothing. It's just adding more destruction. So for me, when I come back to Dallas and I come back from that, and I'm able to come back and reflect, and I'm like, and I see why, okay, why don't I not have children, right? And like, one of my fears, I just was talking to myself about it. I said, because I don't want them to have trauma like I experienced. That's my fear.
Right.
I don't want them for me to be a bad father, abandon them, and allow them to go through the trauma that I experienced. And I know eventually I'm going to I will have children, and I'm human, but that's like one of my fears. I don't want them to live in a traumatic, because I went through hell, and I don't want them to go through that type of hell. And so, so I try to work at it. I try my best to work at it, but I know when you eventually, I'm just assuming this, you have children, you do the best that you can do. And I took my mother to a Mother's Day gospel concert, and Tamala Mann said something. She said, my daughter said what I didn't do for her, blah, blah, blah. But I said, when you have children, do better. What I didn't do, what you think I didn't do for you, you do it for your children. Do better than what I did. That's like my reminder. So if I have children, just do better than what your mom had. It's not good. It's okay to drink, but it's not okay to be drunk and be destructive around children.
Right.
It's okay to drink. And I thank God that I can drink liquor and drink a sip and that's it. But it's not okay, especially when you have children, to drink, you cussing, you arguing, you fighting, you breaking stuff. That's traumatic for a child to see that. That is toxic. That's traumatic to see. I don't think people understand. That's very traumatic. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. It's like words like, I don't think people ever saw that. If you did, it's painful. It's very painful.
It is.
And so that's why when I was getting help through my mental health crisis, I said, I understand, because I went through that crap. I went through a lot, and it affected me. Still to this day, I have to get through it, but I thank God I'm nowhere near where I was in the beginning. I'm getting there, but yeah, man, it was really something. Why not talk about the war? That's okay. Yes, that won't go through that because you are breaking. They won't go through that because you are breaking family curses. Yeah, it's like when you that person that break those family curses, you go through everything. You got to go. You got to take it to make the next generation better. Right. But yeah, I go back home, and I see it, and I say, wow, and I share it because I want people to understand, like, you got to work through that, especially as parents. Like, if you have children, you owe it to yourself and your babies to don't be that dysfunctional, because it's going to harm your children. And one day you're going to get sick. One day you're going to get older, and some of them will pay you back. I've been in places where none of the family come see them, treat them bad, and then one day I'll talk to some people. I said, but why? Because I did A, B, and C when they were younger.
Well, you know what, Wiley? I think too, until you get to that point of having children, maybe you should consider being a mentor, because you went through so much and survived. Like I always tell my younger brothers, I have 4 younger brothers, and I always tell them, you have survived so much that, like, your story, that you can impact and change. You can make the change that you want to see, and that you can be a help to some young brothers out there. And I find your story very encouraging, even to women.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And it's really good. That's how I try to be a great example for my siblings' children, because I want them to see through all the chaos, somebody is doing something right. Somebody is working, providing. Somebody's working, providing for you. Someone is doing something. When I see my nieces, are you a celebrity? Are you famous? Because they see my shirts, imagery. They see my TikTok. I mean, it's just, they see, sometimes they watch the YouTube videos, just come through their feed. What be so making it different for them because this is their generation. All they know is YouTube. All they know is social media. And for me to do something, that's how we can go and have that connection. But it's good that we having this dialogue and talking, and I will continue to have this dialogue and talking. And a person just hit me up in the chat and said, why you ain't talking about, we had already talked about that, baby. We talked about that early this morning, baby. Talking about me now. Ain't nothing more I can talk about what's going on in Israel. Hey, nothing more I can say. And no, you ain't gonna be seeing me in there with no vest that say press and I want you unless you ready to go to the upper. Ain't nowhere. But I didn't already. Ain't no more I can say because we don't know all that. It's above me. I will direct you to go type in Minister Farrakhan, let him tell you and others, but I can just give you a little piece of it. But we talked about that today when we talked about President Biden. Okay, we did that. But I will also say this to the people that are listening to this. Read the book of Revelation.
Yes.
Just read that book. And this is just the beginning. Everybody, we keep saying we're gonna get into World War. You think World War II or something? World War I was something? Okay. Just watch. We never would have thought that we would be shut down and have to wear masks and stuff like that. This is the beginning.
Yeah.
So I just think that we are trying to avoid it, but no, like you just have to just see how you just have to read Revelation. It's not shocking of it. It speaks about wars in Revelation.
Yeah.
It speaks about it. So now you're seeing it, you're gonna see more and more and more and more and more. And that's why, you you better just buckle your seatbelt. I'm not surprised. And if you're a person that read history books, and because the Bible is a history book, right?
Yeah.
History book, and also you can see in the future, right? It talk about future things that we're currently going through now.
Yeah.
You're not shocked. Only person that is shocked is the person that don't have the knowledge.
Right.
They're the only people that shocked, that don't watch, that picked up a book, don't know the history between the two different type of group of people, but it was like that in the Bible. Okay, I'm not a Bible expert, but when somebody in the womb going back and forth in the womb, having war in the womb, we're still so that spirit ain't went nowhere. It's just a different generation. So we have seen this in the Bible with different nations going against another nation, right?
Yeah.
Different people. This group is different with that group, and that's why God didn't want you mingling with that group and that group, because this is what he was trying to avoid the people, but they wanted to do them. You got to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, he talks about the fires, the famine, the floods, all that stuff.
He talks about all that in the scripture. So when you read it, and you could read kind of like read other spiritual books, you would see different type of warnings and different type of stuff in it. But I'm not sure. They said Black people know how to do without and figure it out on our own. Yes, absolutely. But it is sad to see innocent people. But if you look at the history of war, innocent people have always been caught in the cross.
Yeah.
Always. I don't care what you go back to, what you research in. Even look at David when he screwed Bathsheba and he put her husband on the front line in the heat of the battle.
Yeah.
So he can cover that. Like, he was innocent, but he put that man on the front line just to cover up his sin. But David paid the price for that, though.
He did.
He paid the price. He paid the price for that mistake he made, and it harmed his generation. It harmed him. His seed that come from it harmed him, and his generation. They suffer from David's mistake. And so that's why you got to be careful. You got to be careful. So when you read the scripture and just kind of read it, and I haven't read my Bible in a long time, but when you was in it for years, some of that stuff come back to your remembrance. Like, oh man, what? Man, so thank you so very much. This is the type of show. They say, amen, Kimberly, it's hard because I can barely find love for people I don't like. Nobody care about innocent or poor people, no matter the country. Yeah. But again, I just want us, that's why I try to get a lot of research. And then also too, we always talk about other countries, given that they get at propaganda, but we do it right here in the country. They have a narrative that they want to spill, and we have to be. And Michael X said it. He said we will be giving our oppressor and making them the victim, and making the oppressed being the one that's causing the harm. I forgot how he put it, but he said the media were having you. Oh my gosh! He's the victim, but we will actually be on the wrong side because the media is very powerful. It will have you hating people that is innocent and loving the perpetrator. Like we were doing. Malcolm X talked about that. He talked about that in his speech. I want to quote him right. If somebody could get that quote that he said, but that's the truth. Like the media will be having this one narrative, and then to find out, because remember we went to war and we said, oh, we're going to war as weapons of mass destruction. Okay, we went there with nothing. So I mean, so we have to be very cautious of that. But I would say to people that's out there, only thing you can do is keep living your life and stay prayed up. That's all I can say, because again, it's above us, and we got to give it over to God, because
amen.
Because they tried it, and they saw volunteer at a homeless shelter, and I have met so many people that were upwardly mobile. Yeah, because they was like, how could this happen? It was a sneak attack. When it's time, I don't care how much security. If it's been prophesied that this going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't care how much technology. There is no technology that can overtake God with his will. Okay, how much technology? I have marine cameras, digital satellites. You cannot overthrow what God prophesied, that the prophets in the Bible. And we all know a true prophecy. If it come to true, it was a true prophecy. If it didn't come, it wasn't a true one. If it comes from God, you will see.
That's true.
So it will take time, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years, maybe 30, maybe 3 centuries, 20 centuries later. As long you don't know, see, the thing about it, we don't know the date or the hour. We just know it's going to come, but we don't know when it's going to come.
Look at Pastor Wiley speaking.
I'm just saying, we don't know. We can say what's going to happen, but we don't know the time, the date. Many people, false people, say this is the time right now. Didn't happen because you don't know. Only God knows. God only knows. And when you read the scripture, oh man, when God, I ain't gonna get into that the last day, but when God, it happened, when He ready, that's it. So, but we can look at different of the prophets and we can like, okay, wow. And many people that's working, they read the scriptures too. They try to overdo it, but they did it with Jesus. They tried to overtake Jesus. That's why the king, he said, any child over 2, he wanted them gone. Because they tried to get my Lord and Savior. But God said, y'all gotta flee. And so, but they tried. And now the government, they tried because the king had his own people said, well, he's gonna come. He said, well, anybody on the 2, take him out. And Jesus was able to escape. Because God, it's no matter how they tried to make it happen, it's going to come to pass. I don't care how you try to stop it, it's going to happen. And so that's why, thank you, ma'am. I ain't gonna preach to y'all on this Monday, on this Tuesday, but I will tell y'all this. Just watch it. Like, you're seeing Revelation being broadcast in HD. Like, you're seeing, like, I thought people was going to wake up with I kind of woke up a little bit when the pandemic, I'm like, oh man, I've never seen this before in my life. Shut down. Oh man. Streets empty. I guess that was like the preview. I'm like, okay. Now, whoosh, it was a sneak attack. It was sneak attack. Sneak attack. What the world? That mean so it's not funny, but it just like, man. But then the Bible say he's gonna come in like a thief in the night.
Yeah.
It just makes you think of it like it's gonna like you ain't. I mean, it's just gonna happen. I knew we were done for Biden. No, it could have happened with any president. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Under Trump, we had a pandemic. So, I mean, whatever how you try to spin this, it's happening. I don't care who is in the White House. You can't. They don't know what. You can't predict what God gonna do. Like try to stop God. You can't do it. Many people have tried and failed. Can't do it. When them people they tried to build a tower to heaven. And what did God do? I'm not a Bible expert. But God had them speaking different languages. They could communicate. Wait a minute. So wait, do we got any Bible expert?
The Tower of Babel.
Yeah, they tried to build a tower to heaven. And I guess they was getting close.
Yeah.
And God had them speaking different languages. They couldn't communicate. So, but they was building, I guess, what they were trying to reach to heaven. They were trying to reach heaven.
Yeah, they were trying to reach God. Yeah.
They were trying to reach him. And I guess they were getting close. Well, look at he. Wait a minute. Only God can do that. They start speaking different languages.
So silly.
Well, Wally, I have to go. I have to pick up my teenager. But it was very nice talking to you.
It was nice talking to you. I told you over here we get in. Thank you so very much, Indigo. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Love you. Love you. Bye-bye. They said Biden. I'm just saying. They tried to build it. They tried to build it. I didn't know who my mom, dad, all this. Oh, wow. So the Tower of Babylon, they probably almost reached they tried to build it. I'm just saying. So, whoosh, it just makes you go like, man. Thank you all so very much. I want to say God bless you to the people in the chat. This has been such a good video. I will see y'all next video. Thank you all so very much. And we will see y'all in the next video. Thank you all. This has been such an honor seeing y'all in the chat. Okay. Yes. Now, VS, Susie, TSCC. Let's have a conversation, my love. Me and you. Let's have a conversation. All right. Thank you all so very much. You all may dismiss. The women, you may stand because I am about to end. We need every woman, if you're listening, to stand. The alpha man is speaking. If you can stand, you all may continue to stand. When a man is done, you must stand. I don't care if you're cooking. Tell the newborn, get up out that crib and stand. Okay? I need you all to stand. All right? Give me a second. I need everybody, every woman. I need you all to stay. Oh, Lola, you going to Chi-Town? I need you to stay. While you on your way to Chi-Town, stand on up. I need every woman in here to stand. The alphabet is speaking. I need y'all to stand on up. All right. I need y'all to stand. The man is done. Women, I need you all to stand. Okay. I need you all to stand. If you're in the building, I need you all to stand at this correct moment. All right. Thank you all so very much. I need you all to stand. We thank you all so very much for that. You can only right now, if you are standing, you can reach down in your pocketbook, cash out $ Marquise Wally 28 at this very moment. You can Zelle WileyShow@gmail.com. And all that stuff. Like Leah TV, you say you land, you gotta stand on up. Get in a standing position in that bed. Get in a standing position. Get in a standing position. They said I'm standing on the plane. Thank you. Stand on the plane. They said I'm using the back. Okay, I need you to stand on up. Stand on up. The man is talking. I need you to stand on up. All right. I wasn't planning this long live. I need you to stand. I need you to stand on up. We thank you all so very much. If you all can contribute to the show, God bless you and thank you. I will see y'all again. And if it's something else that we need to talk about, let me know. I would love to talk about it. Talk to y'all later. I would love for y'all to come on, stand. You should be standing. Okay. If you in the car, pull over and stand on up. Ooh, woo. I don't care if you in the car. Turn it off. Get on the side of the road and stand. Stand on the side. Stand on the side. Okay? I don't care if you're on the interstate. Stand on that. Now when y'all screwing them in, you be standing. That's what I'm spoken. You need gas anyway. Pull over. You about to get out of gas. Stand on up. Come on, go on and stand. All right, you doing all that driving, don't even donate. What you driving for? If you're going to work, if you're at work, you should be donating. What you doing all that driving for? You ain't driving me around. Why you ain't picking me up and driving me somewhere? You ain't even donating nothing. What you driving for? Where you going? Stay at home. You supposed to be watching while you driving. You better drive to that cash app right now. I'm out here driving for what? Anyway. They're going to do what they want to do anyhow. They're going to do what they want to do. Thank you to all the people for tuning in. Look at Dover Quasi say, you tried to keep me there. Y'all going to do what y'all want to do because y'all very disobedient anyway. They're very disobedient women. Disobedient. Y'all going to do that anyway. Yeah, you ain't listening to the word that Wiley's saying. Disobedient. Just disobedient. You ain't doing nothing. Just disobedient. Just disobedient. Don't care. And then they say, and they ain't just area. Okay. I can't, I gotta wait till they get through driving so I can end this episode. I gotta wait, they doing all that driving. Ain't that much driving in the world. They doing all that driving. Come on. If they done driving, you said they ain't there. Because I'm hungry. They doing all that driving. They even send me if I can give me Uber Eats. They doing all that driving. Okay. Oh, Latavia driving. Oh, now she driving. She's driving too. All right. I'm going to get y'all a pass. But right now, I need you all to stand. Thank you all so very much. This has been a good show. Won't he do it? All right, they said they at the light. Thank you all so very much. All right, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna come back probably for another episode. Y'all let me know what y'all want me to talk about. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. At 3:42 p.m. according to the website.
Okay, so here and you'll see like a lot of places, a lot of bond places will not bond her out if she has a current insufficient bond.
Really? So what does that mean? So she will have to stay? What? Can you break that down for me? Because I'm not understanding.
So I mean, there are some bondsmen that will work with that, and they'll be like, okay, cool, like, and they'll charge you an extra fee. It's not going to be cheap to get her out.
Really? So it's okay. So the $2,500, that's not really $2,500 or on your system?
Okay, so if her bond is if her full bond is $2,500.
Yeah, because I'm looking. Hold on, let me see. Let me go on. Let me look on the website because I'm just judging it on the website here. I always say $21,500.
Okay, so at $21,500, right?
Mm-hmm.
Divide that by 10, $2,150. A lot of places charge $100 filing fee.
Okay.
So you're looking at $2,250 to get her out, right?
Mm-hmm.
If she's insufficient with her bond, that means that she owes money to her bond company.
Oh.
So you're going to have to go, your best bet would be is to go back through the same bond company that she has, pay off the remaining balance, and then pay the bond that it's going to cost to get her out, because they might charge a little cheaper and take that charge off.
Wow. Dude, I don't even know where she went because this is like an auntie of mine. I'm just confused. I have my credit card my money ready. Wow. Do you have it in the system where she was at previously or no?
No.
But you all for a fact can't bail her, can't do it at all.
Our bondsman